All right. Well. We are back. Myself, David Lorenzo Glover, aka the controversial counselor, and Herb Lewis, the big bad wolf, for another segment of cocktail conversations in the counselor's corner. Tonight, April 1st, sometimes after going through our daily grind, men need to reflect on our lives, our upcoming week schedule. Not saying women don't have to, but I'm speaking from a man's perspective because I am a man. Elderly parents, stressful relationships, children misbehaving, and potential troubles at the workplace. During these times, is it necessary to let our partners know every move we make, despite her losing her cool and occasionally going off? During the traditional times, men were granted that time for self. And I shouldn't say so much traditional time. I just remember growing up, my grandfather having his time for himself. And usually that time would be he would go fishing or playing cards with my other male relatives and just, having a good time just after working, uh, you know, long hours overtime. He was granted that time. And my grandmother simply didn't give a damn because he was out of the house and he was out of her hair. So she was good. But let me take a look at this whole scenario and we're going to go from there. Wilbert was a carpenter and worked many long hours. And some days or nights, he just needed some time for himself. One evening, he was working late. He decided to stop at the local bar and grill for a late dinner and a couple of cocktails. His wife texted him a couple of times, but he just did not feel like replying. Ooh wee. Wilbert. Is that a no go? He just didn't feel like replying. Let me go back up. Sherry, his wife, decided that she would drive down to the bar and grill. As Wilbert was walking out, Sherry came up to him going off on Wilbert, calling him a fucking liar. And he is the biggest bullshitter because earlier he stated he was coming straight home. Mind you, she had been out with her friends earlier. This was Sherry's second episode this month. On a more serious note, Wilbert was getting tired of it. Earlier this month, Wilbert had decided to order the Mayweather versus Madonna boxing match as a way to unwind after a long workday. Sherry got the bill and she confronted Wilbert and asked, "Who the fuck ordered this for $69.99? Does Wilbert need to reevaluate his marriage? And why don't some women, because I know how y'all are about the absolutes, give the man the necessary space they require when needed? And keep in mind, we know women need their space as well. So we're just going to, it'll be interesting, the dialogue going back and forth. Because what wasn't said in this scenario, what was said that she was out earlier with her friends. I don't think Wilbert bothered her. I don't think he called. He didn't text. He simply didn't give a damn, and let her have her time to herself. So I guess he wanted the same thing, and that's why he didn't respond. So I'm gonna go. We got a couple things going on tonight. I'm just switching. Got all my stuff going on. So, and don't forget to tune in to hear more, and do not forget to like and share this video. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Controversial Counselor. Also, stay put for the third segment of Who Needs Counseling. Also, we're going to have the monthly drawing. Dinner on me tomorrow. Dinner on me for the top 10 contributors this month, the month of March, for people who responded, made posts, commented in the counselor's corner. So it was 10 people entering the drawing. I'm going to pull a name and then I'm going to cash app that person $25. So I'm saying dinner on me. And you'll get that this evening. And we have a couple people in the studio. Going to let them in and gradually, and I'm gonna Herb. So, what's your take on having time for yourself? How important is that to you when you have your time for yourself? What's your stance? If you were in a relationship, would it be known that you tell them, listen, I'm going here. I don't want to be bothered. I'm just, this is what I need. Or how would you go about having your time to yourself?
That's going to depend on a couple of different things. One, the type of relationship, and when I ask the type of relationship, I'm speaking from an aspect of, am I dating long term or am I married? If I am married, um, depending on what our agreed upon behaviors, will decide. And what I mean by that is, if I go somewhere and I'm expected at home at a certain hour, am I going to allow that individual, to know where I am and what I'm doing? From that aspect, I probably would, because that's what we would have agreed upon, and it would ease any potential anxiety she might have in terms of if something has happened to me. I think anybody, whether it's male, regardless of whatever type of relationship is, whether it's homosexual or heterosexual, I think that's the very least that you can do in terms of being um, caring, caring and compassionate about the way another individual feels. But if I'm in a relationship and we don't have any set agreements, I'm gone. I'm in the wind sometimes, and I'm not telling a soul where I am until after I've gotten back home. So if I get out of work at 7 in the morning. So if I decide to go somewhere and have breakfast, which is few and far between, wouldn't nobody know but me. And that's just the way I govern my relationships. Some people might view it as selfish, some people may not. Some people say, well, why would you tell them? Because they don't need to know. People that need to know will know, and those who don't, they just simply don't.
So how would you feel, even if that's your wife and it's your little local little pub you hang out with, and she rolls up on you, you come out and she's kind of ripping you a new one? How you gonna handle that?
Oh, very simply, she's gone. Just like that. You one thing you don't get to do with me is you don't get to treat me like I am your child, because I wouldn't do the same to you unless there was something that we agreed upon and that agreement was broken. I would wait till you got home. I wouldn't. The one thing I'm never going to do to anybody is upstage them in public. I think at the very least anybody could do is leave them dignified. It reminds me of a situation when I was working in a restaurant overnight, and a couple who always came in. Usually they would sit out of one or two seats depending on how busy we were. And I don't know what the disagreement was between the two. And rarely did I ever get involved in personal affairs of that nature, especially in the restaurant, because I realized how volatile they can be. And I never want to get embroiled in a domestic. But the gentleman got up, um, grabbed the woman by her hair. And when I say grabbed, I mean he took his open hand and just smacked her upside the head and literally pulled her out of the seat, because they were sitting in booths, pulled her out by hair and tried to drag her. And I just happened to turn around and catch wind of it. And I went over, I said, man, don't do that. I said, I don't know what the issue is. I said, but whatever it is, I said, leave that woman with her dignity and take care of that at home. And I'm a firm proponent of that. You have your disagreements in public, whatever they are, but correct behind closed doors. So whether you have an issue with your husband, your boyfriend, or whether you have an issue with your girlfriend, or I'm sorry, your girlfriend or your wife, do that behind closed doors. Leave each other at least the bare minimum with their dignity, because once you start to correct in public, what you do is you send a public message that anybody can do that. And I don't think anybody really wants to be treated like that by their spouse, girlfriend, long-term lover, somebody that just have what's the term that's he using, entanglement. Leave them at least with their dignity. I don't think a lot of people understand how far that goes in today's society. So that's just me. But yeah, no, you can't roll up on me in public and think you're gonna pull something like that, because you'll end up pulling the rug from underneath yourself, because I'm gone. You'll never see me again, and you probably won't know why. And if some people want to talk about ghosting is wrong, then I'll be wrong, but I'll be wrong with peace of mind.
All right, all right. So we got three ladies have joined us. Good evening, Scorpio T. How you doing?
I'm good. What up? What up? What up?
Rebecca, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. Lakia, how you doing tonight? You just waving. You got a sore throat. You got your tonsils removed.
It looks like she's frozen.
Uh,
No, I think she's muted. I think she has herself muted.
Oh, I am muted. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I thought you had some
my bad.
sore tonsils or something.
I thought you was talking about my tea because I
Oh,
am drinking tea tonight because my chamomile tea.
okay.
Oh yeah.
So I did bring out on y'all old school. I do got a timer, so taking it back. Like I said, I've been watching these talk shows, and usually I guess they have their little digital things in their head where they say, "All right, got to move along, got to move along." Hopefully, I don't get to use this, but ladies, so this scenario, time for myself. A couple things have been brought out. And I understand that women need their time for themselves too. And I understand also in this situation that you can look at it in a couple different ways. The guy feeling like, oh, I'm not going to communicate. She out with her friends. I'm decided. I told her I was coming straight home, but I decided I'm going out to have a couple cocktails, a little burger or something, and I'm entitled to do that. But he didn't communicate that with her. So after not responding, she decides to roll up on him. And many people view that as being wrong, but also the overreaction on her part as well coming up there. And then when he also said that he ordered the fight and got the bill, and she kind of went off. So it's a couple different things with that. So what's y'all take so far on what was said and just overall the scenario?
I very seldom happens, but I kind of agree with her. Don't roll up on me in public. That's you asking for trouble. So that's probably the only part that I agree on. But I think it's just common courtesy. I mean, I understand that people need their space because I need mine too. I would assume he needs his too. But it don't kill nobody to send out a text message saying, I won't be home after work or whatever. It takes absolutely no effort. You can't make anybody do that. But if you're in a relationship with somebody and you claim to care for them, why wouldn't you? That's
It's me.
it's pretty simple. There's no
It's
reason to
me.
just not come home and not tell someone, because especially in this climate, they shooting folks everywhere and you don't respond, and it makes people worry, and then it makes people angry, and just like how it is with your kids, once you find out they're okay, now you mad. It's the same with adults and your mate. You have people worrying about where you think they're supposed to be in one place or somewhere else. So it don't kill anybody to say, I'm not coming home. With that being said, after you make that statement, if there's an issue, about, I want to go have breakfast and I'm not coming right home, I have no problems with anyone doing that. Do you? Because when I want my time, I don't want anybody giving me a hassle about it either. But it doesn't hurt to tell your partner, your mate, whatever label you want to put on that person, that I'm not coming right home. So
What if he knew? I'm playing devil's advocate. What if he knew, like, you know what? I really need this time to myself, and I know once I tell her I'm not coming right home, it's gonna be the constant text messaging, constant stuff. Why not? You said this, and it's gonna go back and forth, and I really don't feel like dealing with that right now.
I I would have a hard time answering that, because again, this is where I would agree with him. I wouldn't even have anybody like that in my life. So I couldn't imagine somebody hassling me about coming home unless there was some sort of emergency going on at the house and I just needed to be there. I can't see any reason why I wouldn't allow anybody to do that to me, because again, I wouldn't do that to anybody. I value my private time. And so I would want him to value his too, and he deserves it just like I deserve it. And if I want it, I have to give it to him too, free from hassle. But again, it does not hurt to send someone a message saying, I'm not coming. So if my man was always in my ear, yelling, shouting, screaming about where you at and how come you're not at home, that just wouldn't happen to me either. So
Okay. Lakia?
Well, I was always told you should keep it professional. So that's kind of terminology I use. Keep it professional. Even if something is bothering you, just keep it professional until you get together or till they get home and talk it out. But no, it's not cool when somebody does that to you. But it happens. You know, I mean, I could say maybe I was even guilty at one time. I don't know, but I just know that sometimes when I found that when that does happen, the woman's pretty much, or the man is pretty much making themselves look stupid. So what's the point? So why not just keep it professional, respect everybody, have that conversation at home amongst yourselves, keep people out your business. And then you also talked about the pay-per-view. That's I mean, if he paying bills, he live in the house, he should be okay to order whatever. If he was just home being doing nothing, just I mean, what do you call like a
freeloader.
Melvin, a freeloader, a Melvin, if he being that, then it's like, wait a minute, we gotta talk about this. But if he's helping paying bills, he should be able to watch whatever he want to watch. It's his home, and he's supposed to be comfortable in it. So no, that was a little over the top. But would I say, but I would not agree with Herb to the fact that maybe I wouldn't kick him out right away or let him go right away. I might give him a couple strikes before, it actually let them go, because sometimes it can be flattering when your dude show up on you and you out there and it's like, he really like, he like, you might have that mindset that, okay, he really cared, but no, it's not. It's like control. That's not caring. That's just trying to have a sense of control over your life. But yeah, I don't think I would kick him to the curb right away. I think I'll probably wait a minute, see if he can, change his ways, because sometimes we could trip up, sometimes allow things that get in our ear to get us to act up sometimes. So I think I would probably be a little bit more graceful with it, but get to a point where it's like, okay, now enough is enough.
Okay. Scorpio T.
I apologize. I did not hear the question because my connection was terrible and I had to fix some things and return.
No, so did you hear any of the scenario?
It was nice enough to cut you guys off in the middle of it happening. So no.
So
Sorry.
the summarization pretty much married guy decided to step out after work. His wife, she that evening she went out and hung out with her friends. So he told her he was coming home early, but he didn't. He decided he was going out, have a burger, have a couple drinks. She was texting him throughout the time. He ignored her, and she ended up rolling up. Because I guess this is the local little pub bar thing. Rolled up on him and kind of reamed him out, cussed him out, said he's a effing liar, and kind of went off on him. Met him, once he walked out the pub, and then I guess he said he was getting kind of tired of it. And then earlier that month, she went off on him because he ordered a pay-per-view thing. So she seen that the bill was like $60 more because he had ordered a boxing match. So she went off on that. So we were kind of discussing, like, as far as, the right shit, as far as him communicating, or did she overreact? And most people say that he should have, been entitled to communicate and let her know what he was going to do. But I said, what if his take was, listen, I already know. Once I let her know I ain't coming straight home, she going to keep texting me over and over, or start calling to the point that I'm not going to enjoy myself. Now, some people say, well, you wouldn't be with that type of person, but if they have kids, which in this situation, the individual, did have 2 kids by this woman. So that was kind of the issue, that why he didn't walk away at that time. So that's pretty
So I
much it.
think so the question is, which one of them am I wrong? I'll just say that communication and common courtesy go a long way. Do unto me as you would have me to do unto you. That's it. That's all. There's no middle ground.
Okay. Brolic T.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Good
So
evening.
what's,
Hey,
so what's your take on this overall?
I mean, I feel that both men and women are entitled to their me time, and I'm in agreement with everybody else. Communication is the key. I once dated someone who we had a set thing, but he was very controlling. So there was a situation where I went out with family. I went out with some family to hang out, and I was supposed to be back by a certain time. And I missed that time, but I had communicated to him in advance, well in advance of that time, that hey, I'm going to be out a little later than we talked about. I'm just letting you know. He popped up on me because he locked himself out of where we were staying at. So now he's mad at me because he locked himself out. And if you had been home at time, I wouldn't have, I told you well in advance that I wasn't going to be there on time. You chose to take your ass out and lock yourself out. Now you're mad at me because of your stupidity. No, 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 we won't do that. But and that was the last straw for me. The first straw was I had went to work one day and he got it in his head that I wasn't really at work. So he pops up on my job to see where I really was. So when he popped up on me outside the bar, I was like, yeah, you got to go. First time I was like, you know what? I get it. You kind of have these little esteem things. I could overlook that. Now you see, I'm not the type to lie. I'm a straight shooter. That's why I'm called brolic. I don't hold back. But that I was just like, oh no, we're not gonna do this.
So he rolled up.
All the way around.
He rolled up on your job.
Oh yeah, the first time he rolled up on my job to see where I was at, and a male coworker was talking to me, and he was like, "Who was that?" And I'm like, "Somebody I work with. I work with men and women, and they always ask me questions." I was like, "A coworker."
Yeah, when you start rolling up on jobs and cutting up at family functions, the writing is on the wall. Writing is on the wall.
Oh yeah, and he had to go. I was like, we don't do these. I don't do this. You may date women who think that shit is cute when you pop up on them and oh, he loves me. Hell nah. That is the crazy factor, and I don't do crazy on any level. I got the hell out of Dodge. Good night.
Let me read some of these perspectives, what other people said. Someone said he should have told her he was going to the bar. If after that she still went off, then she would have been totally wrong. I say this because he told her one thing and did another, which made it look suspect. Now, I do admit she overreacted as a woman, do sometimes, and she should have handled that differently. Although he works, he should have told her about the fight. They do pay bills together. I think this relationship has a lack of communication, and these are inviting problems. See, I don't know if you're like I don't know. I think Lakia might have said it. If you holding your own, and I'm deciding, man, Mayweather's fighting tonight, or whoever. This is back in the days, or not Bud Crawford or whoever. And I feel like ordering a fight. I'm gonna order the damn fight. I'm not like, hey baby, can I order the fight tonight? I know we go half on stuff, whatever, but you got your $30 toward the thing. I'm just gonna order it.
As long as you pay for it, knock yourself out. You can order as much pay-per-view as you want, as long as you pay for it in addition to your half of the bill. I don't care.
So is anybody else getting the skipping factor going on while Dave is talking? Is it just my cheap phone?
Yeah, you got to stay off that Conair phone. What's that from? Eckert's Phase? That Conair phone? Landline?
And I don't think people are saying
Wow.
that he shouldn't have been allowed to order the fight. I just think it's just a matter of communicating. I mean, you go out and buy a brand new lawnmower and just show up to the house with it if you have a set budget and you're both, you know what I'm saying? I don't think you look kind of stupid telling somebody, you know, you can't buy something. But if you're a couple, I think it's just a matter of communicating with one another. Hey, the fight's coming on. I'm ordering that.
Yeah,
That don't hurt nobody.
I can agree with that. I know if it was me, I probably would say throughout the week, "Oh, you already
Yeah.
know." I would be dropping the set. Don't plan nothing because you already know it's fight night. I'm ordering the fight, and it come on this time, and that's that, and that would be good communication. So if you did have to go somewhere earlier, like, listen, we need to be back at this time because the
Yeah.
fight come on such and such. But not Wilbur. Wilbur said, "Man, the hell with that. I had a rough day. I ain't answering my phone. I don't give a damn who calls me or whatever the case is."
Yeah,
Mo,
and I agree. If you don't live together, I mean, you absolutely get to do you without any explanation. But if you live together and you're sharing the bills, then again, it never hurts to tell anyone what you're getting ready to do. So
Mofo, what's good?
Exactly why I don't live with no fucking body.
girl,
Exactly
yes.
why I don't live with no fucking
Yes.
body. Look here, for me, as long as the bills is paid, I don't give a damn what you
Yeah.
do. Order the fight. It keeps you out of my face. We might both like to fight because I'm gonna tell you what, I ain't asking nobody before I buy a pair of shoes. I'm not calling to be like, yo, babe, can I get it? Nope. You will see them when I got them on. They'll be fuck me pumps too. That's when you will see my fucking shoes. So
F and
no,
B's.
as long as our bills are paid, as
Yeah.
long as shit is done, I don't need to know every time you need to go to the bathroom. I don't need to know every time you getting up to go to the fucking refrigerator. I did like all of this stuff. We would it's oh my God. Like but exactly why Mofo doesn't live with anyone. I conducted those experiments. And I did them wholeheartedly. I was trying with all my heart. I was trying with all of it. I love that motherfucker to death. Still do. We still the best of friends. But no, we can't. No. So that's where I'm at on it. Everybody want to talk about everything. Sometimes leave me the fuck alone. Ladies, you always want your dude to get off that video game. You really don't want him to get off that video game because you really don't have anything of interest to talk about. You really only want about 10-20 minutes of his time. But what you do is you make it say you always on the video. Okay, so if the man get off the video game right now after the 20 minutes that you want to spend talking about the nonsense that you got, what you got for him? Then he looking you in your face. Bitch, I was on my video game, but now I'm here because you want me here. So what's up? When he in your face, then you want not your face. Man, y'all need to really need to be truthful with yourself about what you're asking for. For real. Just for real. Oh my fucking God.
I guess it does depend on what kind of guy you got because I
No,
mean,
it don't. No, it
I,
don't.
some guys you can
Hold
have
on,
some.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me interrupt this to elongate what Saria is talking about, so it makes a little bit better sense.
Better sense, nigga. I was clear.
Right,
My
right.
shit made
Yeah,
sense.
it made perfect sense.
And I need you to make better sense for me.
It made perfect sense.
Right.
No, absolutely. No. No. Saria,
Sure did.
I understand. I understand completely. What I wanted to say was this: we have a lot of people that complain about guys or men being Madden Kings, and what a Madden King is this: individual goes to work, bills are paid, but as soon as they come home, they may not interact with the spouse. They go pick up the video game controller, and that's what they do from can't see in the morning to can't see at
I
night.
have a best friend whose husband did that in the military. She used to fuss all the time. She used to call me, Cherie, why won't he sit on top of me? Cherie, I said, bitch, if you don't leave him alone and let him play his goddamn video game, why don't you find you some business? Some business. When because he did exactly what she wanted to do. Okay, babe, I'm gonna stop playing the video game. I'm not gonna play the video game. What can I do for you? Oh, well, I really didn't want to do nothing. Get the fuck out of my face. You don't want anything. You don't want anything. You just want him to get off the video game because you asked him to get off the video game. And don't worry, because we'll come back on some dumbass shit and ask women to do. But right now, we talking about y'all just letting that man the fuck alone. Just sometimes leave him alone. Just like you want him to leave you alone when your favorite show is on, or when you and your girls is on the phone, or when you want to do anything that you want to be left alone about, you need to have that same energy when he trying to get away from your ass. I mean, it don't mean he don't love you. It just means that right now he not feeling you. People don't have to be feeling you 24/7. That's again, this is why mofo don't live with nobody, because mofos that live in your house expect you to be about them all the time. The only
Girl.
listen,
Well,
I'm
I'll
30
tell
days.
you
I'm
what,
30
I'll
days
say
with
this.
these grandbabies right now. Do you understand how overstimulated I am? Well, all three from the time they eyes open to the time mine closed. Okay, so I no. But that's
Hence,
just me.
I'll
Hey,
tell
hence,
do
you
it how you do it.
hence the
I
man
don't think
cave.
there's anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman wanting attention from her man. Just
I
like
didn't
I
say
don't
that.
feel like it's anything wrong with. I'm I'm just sharing my thought. I don't think there's anything wrong when he wants her attention either. So there's still a balance of power that has to be respected, and it's a fine line between, you come in and say absolutely nothing because you're not feeling me day in and day out. Somebody gonna start feeling me. So you better start talking because it
Right.
will be the
That's what I'm
same
saying. Stop
scenario.
complaining. That's it. That's all I'm saying, boo. I'm right there with you. Stop complaining. You want to come in the house and you want to just get right on the video game? You want to talk to me? Cool. Somebody's going to talk to me. I'm just done complaining about it. Do you? Do what you do. I'm with her all the way, honey. Hey, you want to come in because where you left off on Madden, you've been thinking about it all day at work, and you just got to get back so you can make sure and see if you can go ahead and leave off. Yeah, do that. Do that. The moment that I
Now,
stop asking for your attention, that's when we got a problem.
No
So
now,
problem.
hey, do you? Do you?
now, let me add this component to it because it kind of ties along with that. And this was from a female perspective. She said, make it make sense. You spend your whole life trying to figure out how to chase and land the right woman. And then when you do, all you think about is how to exclude her because you need your me time. For example, baby, I bought you a nice massage and it's tomorrow at 11 a.m. I took care of everything. All you have to do is show up. By the way, do you mind if I go hoop with the fellas for a few hours while you're out? I will be back around 3. And she said, what type of shit is that? So I guess saying, okay, when are we going to spend time together? You chased me, you wooed me, you got me, and now you don't want to spend no
I
time
mean,
with me,
hey.
and you come up with all these type of things. Oh, I'm going to hoop with the fellas. Oh, I did get you a
You a Madden
massage.
king.
Yeah, or
I don't
whatever.
love
So
anybody enough where I want to be with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except for
Girl,
me.
sometime I wish I
I'm
could put
just
myself
saying.
away. Girl.
I can be madly in love with you. That does not mean I want to crawl up inside of your ass and just live there. So I mean, again, I
Everybody
know
needs
fellas
me
need
time.
daytime because I'll be wanting to go shopping with my best friend without him, or go to lunch or have a drink with the ladies, and yeah, go play some poker or whatever the hell it is that men do when they get together, scratch your nuts, whatever it is that men do when they alone. Feel free to do all that. Hopefully you know where home is and you will be back, because when I'm gone, I'll be back too. I appreciate the fact that you worry about me when it's real dark outside, and you shoot a text saying, yeah, all right. Yeah,
Leave a
but
light on for a bitch,
you can
like
see
damn.
my location on your phone. I've been in the same spot for the last 3 hours, but I
You're
can
more
understand
considerate
if
than me because
somebody
I don't share
called and
location.
said, it's
yeah, I was
four
going to
o'clock in
say.
the morning. Where
Girl, I
you
ain't
at?
never shared a
I
location
could
I
have
with a
had a nigga
mofo that
pop
appreciated
left
up
the
on
out
me
phone
one
wanting him to
time.
show
That
up
was
there.
Yeah, but we
February
all
again.
grown
You'll
up.
never know where the hell I'm going from this
Yeah,
point
You know,
forward.
Listen,
we all
I have
grown.
I'm
a
going out with my friends, and that's all you need to know.
see,
I'm just saying
I
we
think
all
that's good
grown,
you
and you
share
can't tell
location.
Dude,
I,
pop up.
I
nobody
think
Fuck
you
that
should
business.
shit.
share location.
Hold on. Let me say this. So when you said share location, so
Share location.
it reminds me. It reminds me. I know parents share have the locator on for their kids and stuff like that, and also I didn't know adults share locations, and it reminded me also
Yeah,
because, like I said, the middle school scenario, I had students that had their boyfriends location. So they would be in my office. They're like, Well, Mr. Glover, he didn't respond to me, but I see his light is lit up. Oh, wait till I get on him. And I'm like, and then she was
You
like,
know how
oh,
much I hate that shit. Did you just used to look
yeah.
at him like? Did you
Yeah, and I'm
I
like,
think it's
and I'm like,
necessary.
how did you get this?
like?
Like, how did you get this information? She said he did have a doctor's appointment. Okay, he leaving from that appointment. Looked like he headed to school right now. And I'm like, you doing way. I'm like, you're a little stalker.
Way
You're a
too
little
much.
stalker.
Way
But
You know,
too
but
reading a book
everybody,
or
soon as
something,
people
get a
hear that
book.
you're
Get
putting
a book.
location
No, don't say
services
that.
on your
Listen, don't say
phone,
that because
the
we all
first
know
thing
some
that
grown
people
women that's
automatically
doing that
think is
same
Hold
that
on, you
you're
guys are
trying
speaking
to.
over each other.
yeah.
You're speaking
I
over each
Sorry,
other.
said,
back.
having the location on your phone, the first thing everybody wants to think is that some guy is stalking a chick, some chick is stalking a guy. Literally, the reason why I have it on is because you just never know what can happen to a person
Right.
when they're away from home. And I want to be able to find mine. I
Right.
want to be
I
able to
agree
tell
with
the
that.
police. That's the only reason I have it. And I have a little circle of friends that I share my location with them because if anything happened to me, somebody come get me. It's
Right.
not always about I'm trying to stalk your every move.
Right.
When my daughter is out and she says, I'm gone, I give it about 30 minutes and I check it to make sure she's made it to her location. I'm
Right.
not trying to figure out what she's doing. I'm just trying to make sure that she's safe. And sometimes that's just all it is. People need to grow up and get over themselves. If you're in a relationship where you have to know where your mate is every single damn minute of the day, you might want to revisit yourself or that person. Damn.
Understand that
So
there
let
are
me
men and
wait a
women
minute.
walking
Let me just
around
share.
here that's lowjacking each other. That
Let me
it's
share
a
this.
whole show called Cheaters on a mofo stalking
So that's
another mofo when they're away from them. So
well, that's on
I
that
can't
level.
with the
That's
location.
if that's what the case is. If they're and I know people that have put trackers on people's trucks, because
Yeah.
they want to see where they're going
Yeah.
because that's being a stalker. But for me, the track I have it. I work with a couple, a husband and wife. They have the locations on their phone. Have apples. Everybody knows each other's location because that's what they want to do. We're living in that. This is a time where so much crazy is going on. I remember when I was married, my ex-husband, he was a contractor, so he would be all over the place. And I never knew where he was. Never. And he never disclosed it. He never communicated anything. And I would say, hey, God forbid something will happen to you. I wouldn't even know where to begin to look because you're all over the place. You know what I mean? You don't even tell me whose house you're working on. So and I'm home with kids. You don't come home till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm wondering where you are. So to me, it depends on what's going on in that marriage and the type of or relationship. If you're working in a job that has you traveling like me, I do real estate. I'm all over the place. I want somebody to know my whereabouts. I'm sometimes in some neck in some woods, and I'm calling folks. I'm calling white friends. Like, listen, I'm over here in Eden. It was 0.0% of black folks in this area. In case you don't in case you don't hear from me. I think it depends on the situation, and
And I
that's
understand. And
and I have the 360 live on mine for my kids. I know where all of them at on my phone. So I just think that I wouldn't mind my mate or my husband, whatever, to know I'm at because I want him to trust me. I want him to trust him, and just let it flow.
Well, you
and I
know
can
what?
understand.
I am married, and I never, ever, ever turn on my locations. But if I want my husband to know where I'm at, I pick the phone up, I call him, I say, "Hey, look, it's sketchy over here. What's up?" And he'll pick the phone up and say, "Hey, I went through it, so if something happened, this is such and such and such and such." I don't have to have my location, and primarily, I don't do that anymore because when I first got on Facebook, I had my home city where I lived at listed on my Facebook. Right, I'm brand new, so some strange guy called me on Messenger and said to me, "I'm in
Girl.
your city, stay." So that cured that for me. I don't turn my locations on ever, but I do also have an emergency feature on my phone. I click a button 3 times and my list of 10 know where I am at all times. So
Well,
there's ways around that. But I mean, I don't need my locations for my husband to trust me, and I don't need his for me to trust him. Mutual respect and common courtesy will make you pick a phone up and say, "Hey, we was at this club, we over here. So if something happens, I need you to know so you can come and get me immediately." So
Well,
that's just my take. If I had
one
small
of the
kids,
things,
if I had teenagers, I would definitely their locations would definitely be on because I'm gonna know where my baby's at all times. Different scenario.
well, one of the things as far as with kids, whatever, when you think of social media and the locator thing, that should be taken off just because of pedophiles and stuff like that, where kids have their locator on social media, and then you never know who you friended, and these people know every move that they make. So you have to look at those settings to make sure it's not on when it says, "Oh, I'm still at such and such middle school," and the big perverts say, "Oh, they're still at school," or whatever the case is. So that's one of the ways that these sickos kind of monitor and track kids on where they're going. So be mindful of that as well, as far as settings on social media.
So here's where I'm at with that. Every single solitary thing that was created for our good, there is some dumb motherfucker who's going to figure out how to use it for some nefarious thing. Because yes, I have for my grandchildren, my oldest granddaughter, she has a cell phone. So if she's away from us, you better believe that the location is on. But as far as me, only person need to know my location is my weed man. Now, when I need somebody to come to me, like she said, I'll call you. I will tell you where I'm at. I have set my look. So, and here's why, because there's always an experience for me that has led me to do it, and more than one. Every single solitary time back in the day when I did that sort of thing, when I was trying to get a mofo to trust me, all that stuff, and I don't knock anybody that uses it how they use it. All I can do is talk about how I'm doing things and what works for me. Every single solitary time that I was trying to be the goody two shoes, oh, well, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going to be. Please understand that mofo walked through the door. And I didn't necessarily want that mofo to walk through the door. They're coming in to check. I understand that not everybody is doing that. And hey, maybe it was just the mofos that I dealt with. I can deal with that. But it happened. And so now you want to know where I'm at. If there's a reason that you know where I'm at. If you know where I'm at, it's because I want you there. Other than that, I'm doing me. And consequently, I'm not asking you where you are. I'm not checking on you. I'm not doing anything, or I don't have rules for myself that I don't, allow others to have from themselves. I don't ask a whole lot of questions. That's why I don't answer a whole lot. You can't ask me who I'm with, where I've been, because I don't ask you that stuff. Now, if we're just having a conversation, if it's conversational, because we all know the difference between a conversation and an interrogation. Once it turns into an interrogation, we got to stop, because see, that's not what I'm doing to you. So I'm just not going to allow it to happen to me. So for me and the location, if I'm going on a date, a blind date, you better believe that there is somebody who knows exactly where I am. And so that's just a safety precaution. That's just, that's safety. But I'm talking about as far as me having a mate and our locations on. That's not something that we do as far as trust building. That's not a trust building exercise for me. So if someone else is doing that, that's wonderful. And I hope that it's working swimmingly for you. It did not work for me. Mofos showed up that I did not want to show up. So I stopped letting mofos know where I was going. So
and you know what, Saria, and Saria touched on an important topic. And what I'm seeing here is there's almost a clear delineation between how men view this and women view this, and it makes completely perfectly good sense. When I go out of town, let's say when I go out of town to Toronto, the only individuals that might know I'm in Toronto is somebody that I'm traveling with. Nobody else does. So whether it's a mass incident that occurs or something else, I think that's more of a security issue for the women, and that's understandable. You want somebody to know if something happens so they can come help you out, whatever the case. Whereas men typically won't, because I'm not telling anybody where I am. Doesn't matter where I go, what I do. I'm like, look, I'm me. If something goes down and I can't handle it, then that's what it is. And I'm not worried about whether I get back home, whether I get back to work, or wherever I get back to. If I don't make it there, then I wasn't supposed to make it there. And I'm not necessarily a proponent.
Damn, Herb, I ain't got no death wish on my location, but okay.
No.
I'm trying to make it.
No, and that's what I want to address. It's not necessarily that I am a proponent of divinity, like our destinations are predetermined. If I go somewhere, I'm already well aware of what the risks are. So if I go to Toronto, I know the chances of me being involved in a mass casualty situation are slim and none, and slim hand is on the door, getting ready to leave. So those are the type of things I don't concern myself with. Not know people might say, well, you can't determine what's going to happen anywhere, and you're absolutely correct. I have no preconceived notion that I control anything in my life other than except what I do. But that's just the way that I'm wired. And I'm sure there's a lot more men who are of that mindset than there isn't. And like I
But you know,
said, go ahead.
no,
Kinda
I didn't mean to
feel
cut you off. I
like
was just trying to jump in. But the fact that look, one thought I do have regarding this is sometimes, and just to be honest, everybody has their own opinions how they do things, but sometimes there's some people that have an issue with infidelity. And because of that, they may need something to help them stay accountable.
Okay, hold
And
on.
I
Let me
know
come.
that
Let
may
me.
sound, I know, to me,
No, no.
I'm just gonna be
No.
honest. I think that to some degree, when you love someone and you marry someone and they may have an issue, because some people have issues. I mean, we can sometimes act like we don't have issues ourselves, that we're perfect, that there's our mate don't have nothing to deal with when it comes to us. But I believe everybody may have something they have to deal with, and if we love them, then maybe we should find ways to keep it fresh, or keep it things from happening, and keeping accountability. And that's just my thought. I just think that it could be a help to keep someone accountable when they have an issue with infidelity.
Yeah, but
Yes,
you
but
don't
the
get
You a
to
good
make
one.
your
Now
You a good
insecurities
one.
listen.
my
You a
Now
good
listen.
one.
insecurities.
You
You
a
just
good
Yeah,
one.
want
she
to
really
hold on,
is.
hold on, one at a
But
time.
let me
One at a
tell
Sound
time.
like
you,
Lakita,
One at a
sound like
time.
you want some cheese to go with that
I
wine.
get hit
One at a
with
time.
infidelity. We ain't even
no,
going
no,
far.
no.
We ain't even
Mm,
going
But all
far.
I'm
Like, I'm gonna
saying
put
is
it to you
that
straight.
you
I
don't
even
get
get
to
a
make
hint
your
that you have an issue with
insecurities
infidelity.
my
We ain't going nowhere.
insecurities.
It's
You
just not
don't get to
happening.
make your
We
insecurities
we
my
we can't hear
insecurities.
any
That's
of
what
you
they got
ladies because you're all
Yeah.
speaking at the same time.
Oh, I'm
So
sorry.
so you guys, no.
well, let me say this. Let me say this. I feel like there's some things that are overlooked. If I pick up the phone and I ask my husband, "Hey, where you at?" There's no assumption being made that I'm trying to run him down. Maybe I'm asking where he is because, like, for example, I had to have him pick up a piece of equipment for me. I got the last minute call. Hey, it's ready. Grab this. So when I pick the phone up and I say, "Hey, babe, where you at?" He's not assuming that I'm trying to join him, stalk him, run him down, control him, or anything else. He say, "I'm over here." Okay, great. You're close by. Can you grab this for me? I mean, the thing that's throwing me off is the simple assumption that when someone is picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, where you at?" that there's some type of
Right.
bad vibes behind it or something crazy
Yeah.
behind it.
But you know,
I,
y'all know,
I don't assume when he picks the phone up and asks me where I'm at, that he's trying to run me down, check on me. I might say, "Hey, I'm at such and such. Where you at? I'm at so and so, so and so. Great. Can you stop at this place and grab me this? Bring me a couple of beers or something." I don't understand why this is so crazy. I
Well,
don't
no,
get it.
sometimes,
that's
like
exactly what we said.
sometimes,
It's a difference between an interrogation and a conversation. When you call him, or when somebody calls him, like, "Hey, babe, where you at?" That's something that's conversational all day long. But
no.
when the mofo is calling you and they got a list of stuff. Maybe
Listen.
they've been talking to their
That
girls
might
or what,
that might be
and
one
they
of the most
calling you.
avoided questions, whatever, when somebody call you, because it seems like nowadays, it don't matter who it is. Everybody, that's their leadoff thing. Where you at? Why? It could be your mother or somebody, your brother, sister. Where you at? Like, okay, where you going with this information? Because usually when somebody lead off with that, it's something they want you to do for them. Yeah. So you like, damn, why the hell? Like, I'm always on the defensive. Why? Why? And they like, just tell me where you at.
Well,
Like,
see,
so
I have a standard answer for that. For people who don't have approval to pick the phone up and call me and ask me where I am, because there are very few people who can do that. My standard answer is, "I got my feet in the street. What's up?" So that still means none of your
I
business. You
always
better
say
get
where
to
I'm
the
at. I
you
always
I
better
say
know
get
where
to
my
I'm
the
at.
kids ask me all the time. That's the first thing they ask me. "Where you at, Ma?"
We all
Don't
have a
worry
right
about
to
it.
refuse that question. At the end of the day, you don't have to answer nothing you don't want to answer. So, if you're a stalker, I guess this only applies to you. Everybody else, that's just, like she said, what's up? You know, my best friend will call me all day long. Where are you at? And she can clearly see my workspace right behind me. It's just something she always says when she calls. It's just
Oh.
natural habit for her. You know I'm at work. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. You know exactly where I am. You know,
Time
and with my
Barbados.
kids, I'm always being nosy because that's just me. And I'm not gonna lie. I always want to know where they are, and I don't make no apologies for it. But for grown ass people, you know, if I want something, I'm just gonna ask, can you bring me some milk? And if they say I ain't nowhere near a store, can you stop by one, you know, and bring me some milk? But some people just ask that because that's their normal
It's a habit.
conversation.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different realm over the person who's like, where you at, because I think you're cheating, and or where you at because I need to know where you are every moment of the day. That's a whole different
Or
damn
where you at? Because I need to help you be
And I
scenario.
accountable
want, you
for
know, and
your
I want to,
infidelity
You
ass
don't get to
ways.
make you don't
Girl,
get
you
to
a
make
good one.
your
I'm so happy that you
insecurities
exist
my
for
but
some mofos that
insecurities
need
just
it.
because you're
correct.
my husband or my
We
boyfriend.
gotta
That's
help
what
each other.
therapy is for, and you need to
But
go
I want to circle
overbeard
back to
with it.
that though. I want to circle back to that. Now, this is a discussion that we had a couple weeks ago when we asked about why do we make other people pay for past transgressions. An individual that struggles with concern about infidelity, that's an insecurity issue that that individual needs to address within themselves, because once you start making someone else accountable for what someone else did, then you're making them carry an undue and unnecessary burden that they have not earned, and
But you
that is a
know,
recipe for disaster.
go ahead. I'm gonna let you
I
That's a
finish.
think
recipe for disasters in any
what I
relationship.
thought she was what I thought she was talking about, and she can correct me if I'm wrong. I thought she said if somebody needs to be held accountable if they have a fidelity issue, then that
Right.
location crap is getting as though they need somebody to be checking on them. And for that, that's
Sometimes,
why I said
right,
happy that
right.
she exists. I'm happy that she is willing to do that because
I'm,
for me, whether you have an infidelity issue as in you're a cheater or you have an infidelity issue as in you're insecure about somebody else cheating, for this girl right here, that is some shadow work that you have to do. It does not become my job to keep you from cheating on me.
Right,
I'm not going to ask you where
you,
you are so that
right,
I can hold you accountable for what
right.
you
it's
doing
not
with your mans. Okay,
okay.
I'm glad you exist, my sister. I really
I'm
am. I
not
love
saying
you,
that I'm that person.
girl.
But I'm just what
No,
I
we
am
didn't think
saying is
that.
this: where does it come to a point where you do need to sometimes help somebody get over a hurdle? Like if you
Because
think about someone
when
that's
I'm
a
not
drug
giving them
addict,
my clit, when I'm not giving them my
um,
clit or my money, because I can't be in a relationship with somebody that I got to help or save. That's not a
but the thing,
relationship
Bingo.
because once they
but the
get
thing
helped
is
and
for me,
saved, they're not even the same
Yeah,
person.
let
They're
her
not even the
let her
same
finish.
person.
Let her finish.
I'm sorry,
no,
my bad.
no, no, that's cool. That's cool. I'm just saying, like, for me, it's like when you think about a person that's a drug addict. I've had, people in my family that's been drug addicts, and one thing I always said that they don't need to handle money for a long time because they every time they get a job, they fall back into doing drugs. And or they do the 12-step program. Yeah, I mean, and there's different things that people do to try to help someone overcome an addiction or something that they've struggled with in their life. So where does it come to? And I'm not saying I'm that person, but I can say that with somebody that I love, I will strive to try to find a way to be a help. Now, sometimes we have to be our brother's keeper. Sometimes we have to be our sister's keeper. And I feel like sometimes we do have to wear that burden on our shoulders of other people, because even when you living in this life, you are carrying burdens of other people, your children, your parents, people that you might have to take care of, your aunts, your uncle, whatever. You sometimes have to carry some burdens that you don't want to carry, but it's meant for you because you were built to carry those burdens. That's why it matters, like the type of person that you do connect with. Those things matter. Like I think about, and and people might not like me saying this, but I think about a man that loves to have anal sex. He likes a man. I said, well, maybe if you meet the right woman that like anal sex, maybe he can be with a
No,
woman.
baby.
Whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
so now I'm
whoa,
finna
Saying
stop you.
let
whoa.
That's over for
somebody
me.
help bridge
Listen
some
to me.
gap.
No, no, no.
Ray, let him finish.
Listen,
Ray, let him finish.
listen.
Let him
I
Yeah,
can
finish.
help
That's all
yeah.
you.
I'm saying.
There's a
So
such thing as you helping somebody without
That's
you having
wrong.
to sleep with them
did we not be
and not
our
having to
brother's
be in a
keeper, a man's
relationship.
keeper, our
No, no,
sister's
no.
keeper,
I'm not disagreeing
our
with that.
husband's
I'm
keeper?
not disagreeing with that. And I told you I'm so happy that you exist. Do you have to be in a romantic relationship with that person to help them? That's my only point.
Right.
I cannot be in a romantic relationship with you if I'm there helping you trying to get over a hurdle. Because once you're over that hurdle, it's probable that you're not even going to be the
Well,
same person that I met that
Preach
needed
that.
the help.
we
So you're not getting access to my clit. You're not getting access to my money. I will be your keeper all day. I will help you. I will take you to your AA meetings. I will do it
Preach,
all for
sister.
you. But I'm gonna keep my
Preach.
clit and my money and my house to myself. That's
well
my
let me
issue.
say this.
Why do we have
Put
to
that on
sleep
a
with
Let me
women
say
t-shirt.
this.
helping?
Let me say this. Well, it's three things when you talk about addiction that cause people to use people, places, and
Places and
things.
things.
Whatever. Those are the three things that cause people to use. If you
That's
still
why
hang around the same damn people, you're gonna use again. If you're still venturing off the same places, whatever again, you're gonna use. And if
Right.
you still have the certain things or triggers, you're gonna use. That's
Right.
the bottom line. So unless they totally removed all of those things out of their life, you just gonna be sitting around wondering, what's
Then
the
they're sucking
location
on their
and
dick,
all that
wondering if
stuff,
they're
and
gonna come
knowing
in.
damn well that they getting high as hell or going up in somebody, being a doodle chaser or whatever the case is.
Hey,
Yes,
hey,
I'm
yes.
we're not
sorry.
really fixing to go there with that, are we?
Wait a
We're not
minute. Wait a
fixing to
minute.
do that, are
I'm
we?
just
David,
saying. I'm
Okay,
just
well,
saying.
David.
because you
Let
wouldn't
me say
want
something, if
you
you
wouldn't
don't
want a gay
mind.
person telling you maybe you would like some dick if you would just try it. What people like is what they like, and I don't think any of us
I'm
have a
just
right to be
okay.
trying to.
Listen,
Let's
listen.
not do
Let me
that.
interject
Yeah, I'm not
Let's
trying to
something
not
do.
do
also.
that.
Don't let that be the issue for the night. Whatever. It was just
I'm
going
just
Well,
along
wait a
with
saying,
the
minute.
theme.
don't
Wait a minute. Let me
don't do that.
interject something because I feel like, I think people are looking at the extreme portions of it. I understand what Lakia is saying. Your name is Lakia, I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Okay. So I understand what you're saying. For example, I know we all know somebody that has a few little mental health issues, right? So you pick the phone up and you call them and say, "Hey, how's your day? How's it going? Whatever's happening." And you check in with them periodically throughout the day, trying to assist them in keeping themselves together. I
That's
don't
it.
think that that's an unrealistic thing. Or somebody that forgets to take their medication and you pick the phone, it can be whoever, an elderly person, a sick person. So there is a definite truth to that, and there's definite something that we do and don't think about it as holding someone accountable. It's just a part of life.
Yeah.
So
That
I,
I
I think
agree.
there's some validation in that. And to um Herbert said that, well, I think that was Herb that said something along the lines of people come in with extra baggage. I think it's unrealistic to think that people don't bring extra baggage because it happens on the regular. The difference is knowing what that baggage is when you go into a relationship with someone. So if you know they already have, um, um, I don't know, mommy issues, I don't know what else to use as an example. So there's a certain type of way you interact with them until they're able, because not everyone is able to face different traumas at a
Right.
certain time. You
Right.
might feel like I'm 50, 60, 70 years old. I should have been and did this. However, you don't know, what their time frame is for that. So there's no time frame on addressing certain traumas or issues or things like that in life. So I do think what she said definitely is valid as it applies
Mhm.
to being an
I'm
accountability
not
partner.
saying it's not
That's
valid,
it.
but I have to agree with with Mofo. I'm willing to help anybody. I'm sorry, Sharia. I'm willing to
No,
help
that's
Mofo,
okay.
people, but that
Mofo is
mofo.
doesn't mean
just
you have to.
fine because I'm
That
on that
doesn't.
today.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you have to be my mate. I have a
Now,
right
I'm
to
not
say,
speaking in terms of being a mate.
yeah,
I'm just saying that we
but
do
I
have
agree.
accountability
You know,
partners.
being your brother's keeper, there is nothing wrong with that if you choose to, because we are not beholden to do that. So if you choose to do that, I have no problems with that. But I really agree with Sharia. That don't mean you got to be my man, because I'm
Okay.
trying to weed through all of that. I'm not trying to have that in my life in any shape, form, or
Right.
fashion. But yes, I do agree. If you have a friend or relative, there is nothing wrong with helping them through their struggle. I'm all about that life, but you're not fixing to be
But
Well,
brother,
all up in
I'm
my
not
Well,
ear.
saying
Brother,
that.
well,
hold on,
I'm
hold
not
on,
let
hold
me
on,
saying
say
that
hold
this.
on,
No,
Sister
let me
hold,
say.
Sharia
hold on. Hold on, Brawler
I
T wants
wasn't
to
saying
speak.
it was a scenario in which you were lining up with the person. I'm just saying that accountability thing
Yeah.
is a very real factor.
Yeah.
I want Brolic T had her hand up. Then I want to bring Anita in because she's been in here for a while.
Nita.
So Brolic
Okay,
T,
so I'm all for accountability and helping people get through their issues. Whether you choose to date that person or not date that person, that's a whole nother story. But at what point do they start holding themselves accountable? Because I've seen people who get stuck in this situation of constantly helping somebody get their shit together that never gets it together. So at what point do you cut the umbilical cord and let them stand on their own 2 feet? Because it's one thing to say, you know what, I'm gonna hold this person accountable. I'm gonna, make sure that, I help them stay away from old habits and, help, make sure that I'm conscious to not, do triggers that might get this person to do things. But at what point does this person step up and say, you know what, I live in the real world and I need to control my fucking self? Because nobody signs up for a child, because that's what it sounds like at the end of the day. You're taking on a child, not a spouse. So I agree with Scorpio T when she says it's important to know what issues is somebody coming in with, and then you making the intelligent decision to decide, is this something that I can handle? Is this something that I want to take on? Because at the end of the day, you can say, yeah, I can handle this, and then that shit might be more than you signed up for.
Right.
and the one thing, and the one thing with
Most
the
of the time, it's
addiction,
more.
that one thing with the addiction, it is pretty much like, are you ready to add on another child to it, whatever? Because sometimes
Somebody
they
who's
have
been
like
there, that shit is
childish like
no fun.
behaviors.
And here's the
Go
thing,
ahead,
even in
Anita.
AA, when
I want to
somebody
share something
goes
too.
to a meeting, they're told that they don't need to be in a relationship because
No, they
they're
don't need
Right.
feeling.
right.
You
Definitely,
can't
that's
Or
be
she
in
always
can
a
tell you.
been
relationship with
drug addict.
somebody that you're helping. It just doesn't work out well. It just
Most
doesn't work out
definitely, you
well.
need to be by your damn
I'm
self.
sorry, Anita. Hey, boo.
Mhm.
Hey, boo.
Anita, what you gotta
Hi.
say?
I just, I came in late. I hear everybody's point of view on infidelity, and I understand everybody's point of view. My point of view is along the lines with Lakia, but I understand. Like, I don't want to be stalked, and I've been on that side of the fence. But then I've been on the other side of the fence where my boyfriend was in Iraq, and he didn't even care to ask me, like, what are you doing tonight? It's Friday night. Are you going out? Who you going out with? What time are you going to be home? Like, it's a sense of caring about my what I'm
Welfare.
doing.
Got you,
Yeah,
boo.
right.
Got you,
So
boo.
I've been on that side, but on the other side of the coin, I did have somebody that was like a little, I'm not saying a little, I'm saying a lot obsessed with me.
Asked them same
And
questions, didn't he? Where are you going? Where you been? Who was you with? It's the same questions, ironically.
well, it was a little bit worse because I knew his intentions. When you know somebody, you know their intentions. When you've been with somebody for a while, you know the difference about what they're asking and why they're asking. So, me personally, I don't mind telling anybody, like, not anybody, but my friends, my family, my mate, what you doing? Where you at? Oh, I'm here. Why? What's up? To me, I don't get on the defense with anything along those lines, because especially with my mate, if I'm hiding something, I probably shouldn't be doing it in the first place. That's my perspective. I don't get on the defense because they may have had somebody that cheated on them in the past or was not totally honest in the relationship, and I can help them by, let's see, like, reassurance and and trying to make them feel comfortable enough to understand that not everybody is like that.
It takes time to
But
build.
I don't mind.
It
but
takes
how
Right.
time
much?
to build trust.
But
You
how
don't
much
get you don't just
reassurance?
grab somebody's trust right away. I don't know about
Yeah,
anybody
but
else.
you don't
I
get to
don't.
you don't get to question me about every move I make
Hold
just
on, hold.
because you have an issue with trust.
But you know,
You
no,
don't
Me,
get to do
That's
that.
but that goes back
realize
to
that
what
there is
Herb was
a
talking about. That if someone is
Yeah.
coming in, like what Anita said. So Anita, I'm going to use your example. You said that if somebody comes in and in their last relationship they have been lied to or whatever, you're willing to do certain things
They're
to
not
keep
ready.
them
They're
to
not ready.
exactly.
Thank
that's
They're
not
not
you.
ready. But
true.
I'm
That's
just
not
Thank
giving
you.
true.
I
Yes,
no,
don't
it
That's
think
not
no,
is.
true.
that's
listen.
That
true.
is
That is
very
That's not
true.
true.
it's not
No,
That
it,
is
I
it's
don't
very
think
let's
very
that's
agree with
true.
that.
always
it's
true.
Because I
very
promise
true.
I don't
you,
think that
Listen,
I
I
don't
don't think
think
it's
that's
true.
it's very true.
I don't think that's always
I've
true,
been
because if
there.
that was
Right.
always the case, then
Because
I've
who
been
would
there.
ever
right.
date again?
So every
Yes, they
person you
would.
Most
run, so
And
you
people
you
gonna
don't.
say
sit with
Do
every
you know how many
person,
people is on the show for 10 years because they won't date again? They don't.
but this is
I could, like I said again, I can only speak for me. I've been that woman.
right.
I've
So
been
that's
that woman that's been in a jacked up relationship. Somebody
yeah,
cheated on me, lied, and when I went to
yeah.
that next relationship, oh, dude was jumping through all types of hoops for me. It was unfair to him. It was
Yep.
ridiculous. I was ridiculous. I was
Hmm.
toxic because I was not ready. It's not about trusting everybody else. It's about trusting yourself and your
Hmm.
discernment and
Yep.
your choices. So if you get into another relationship before you have healed from somebody else lying and cheating on you, you are going to treat that new person as though they're going to do that to you. I'm
Correct.
all about earning trust. Absolutely. Everybody has to earn my trust just like
You
I
have to
have to earn theirs. But I'm not
right.
going to do that by jumping through hoops for you.
Yeah.
You can,
No, and it's
because
not
the
about
more
jumping
hoops you
through
jump
hoops.
through, the
Right.
more they're going to put up. And so
No,
that's just what it is.
I don't think it's jumping through hoops. I'm going to say there has to be a level of just space or that grace. I've said this before. You got to give people space for grace. And that is saying that everybody's going to come to the table with some baggage, with a perception, with an
Hmm.
idea of what they think a relationship should be.
Hold on,
Does it
Lakia. Hold on.
necessarily mean that? Let me
Hold
finish,
on,
please.
Lakia.
Does it
Let me stop
necessarily
you,
mean that it's
Lakia.
correct? It doesn't.
Let
Let her
let me
finish,
stop
man.
you.
They're
Yeah, let
finished.
her
No, no,
finish.
no,
Let
no,
Don't do
no.
that.
I'm
continue.
going
Let her
to.
finish.
I'm going to let her finish. I just want to ask her a question. I think
Let her
everybody
finish.
on the
You might
panel.
answer.
Hold on. I think everybody agrees on the panel with baggage. The question is, why should you make? Why should someone else have to carry your
So,
baggage?
okay, so this is what I'm sharing. It's not just your baggage. You both are coming with baggage. I don't care how much you think you're perfect. Nobody is perfect.
Everybody
No,
has
not
baggage.
one. Not
Everybody has
one.
baggage.
Hmm.
Don't have
Everybody.
something that they're gonna have to. That's gonna
Yes,
come.
they
That's
do.
gonna cause that. And there's something that's gonna your idea. Even if it's an idea, which, like I said, with how you think relationships should be. But I believe if you have two individuals that's willing, that have grown, that have gone through things, have experienced, and say, hey, let's talk this thing out, and let's come to a meeting of the minds. And I believe after you've done that, you can you continue to do that and grow and have counseling, or just continue to grow. Allow whatever situations that come up in that relationship, grow from it. But this is where, like Saraya, to answer your question, or Brolic T, to say when is enough enough. So I'm speaking on my own experiences. I have had to, and I know I'm a faith based. I've had to go through situations, and I don't want to take a lot of time and try to make the story short, where the Lord Himself had told me to go through a certain situation. I said, "You want me to do this?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I bore the burden for that person because they needed that. But you know what He did? He
Mhm.
strengthened me, and He also healed me, and He also mended my heart going through that. So after experiencing that, I don't mind going through for Christ's sake, because He said for the elect's sake, you're gonna suffer. If you think in life you're not going to suffer something, then to me that's chaotic. I mean, that's not thinking smart, because you're going to have to go through something, but for somebody. So I'm thinking like this: if He says to do this, I'm going to go forth. If He said, and it comes to a point, then He released it. I didn't even have to release it. He released it. It was like, okay, the person was like, they're done, and I said, thank you, because I didn't want to do this anyway, but I did it for the elect's sake. You have to sometimes take yourself out of an equation and say, you know what, this person need me right now. This person need me to go through with them right now. And then it's going to come to a point where I say, you know what, I've done all that I can. Now you have to stand on your own 2 feet. It's going to come. But sometimes you got to just go through. I can speak out of my own experience. I've done it. over and time again. And that's who I believe my strength is, where it is, because I've allowed people to walk over me. But guess what? I'm still here. You couldn't take me out. You couldn't like, I'm gonna go through for the elect's sake. I'm gonna go through for somebody else because they might need it. And that's what all I'm saying is that I'm suggesting that's what real love is. Real love is you're gonna lay yourself down for somebody else. And that's what love. I've experienced that level of love that you have to lay it down sometimes. Take yourself out the equation and allow it to be and allow it to grow. If you don't let that happen, how would you ever know if it could have been something great? So that's what my thought is.
Let me just say this, if you guys don't mind. Let me say this, if you all don't mind, also, because you were talking about. Okay, so let's say someone did the work with their internal insecurity, trust issues. They did the work. They came into this relationship healthy and whole. Okay. So then whoever they're in this particular relationship with may start doing some things that might seem a little strange. And now it's being brought back to their mind. Oh yeah, this happened when? Okay. So now the red flag is waving. For a person not to speak on that issue or to possibly explore that would be remiss for them own selves. So in that instance, I can't say that, oh, that's not something that's real or something that should be overlooked, or it's a personal issue. You might be the one doing some sketchy mess and they looking
Absolutely.
upside your head because you're sketchy.
Absolutely.
So, and
absolutely.
rather than addressing the way that you're presenting things to them, you just have a whole go at them because you know they have an issue, where instead of just cleaning up the way you're doing things. So,
Right.
I mean, that's something that's very, very real and very valid. And Lakia, what you're talking about is agape love. I get everything that you're saying. I totally understand it. Been there, did that. I get it. So, but that's not something that I think, that everybody can always relate to, because it's a major man. It's man. That's all I'm gonna leave that with.
It's that love.
It sounds like Derek Jackson wife. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, it's levels
not all heathens. We know, some of us know. We
No,
know
it
it.
doesn't.
The Lord talks to all of us in different ways. So if He called you to do what He called you to do, like because each of us can only speak on our own experiences. That's why I always bring it back to me. I've been that toxic woman that was not ready to move on. I've also been that woman that healed myself, and then a dude starts doing sketchy things, and I ask a question, and all of a sudden he wants to throw at me that I'm just insecure. No, you doing the same exact thing that people. If you don't want to be compared to them, stop acting like them.
Ain't Mike
Not what I'm talking about. I'm strictly because we all know that situation. Right. If you ain't Mike, stop acting like Mike.
Stop acting like Mike.
Stop acting. I'm on the same script that Mike's on.
Mike
you know.
So I have a question.
I'm not talking about that. That's different. I'm speaking strictly of someone who. I'm not talking about someone who has every right in the world to be looking you upside the head because y'all have an agreement on what's going on, and you just completely that's not, because that's not an insecurity. That's you're out of pocket. That person is checking you.
That's what I was saying. Their ears are different. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So absolutely, I'm talking about a person who is requiring or making someone else feel like they have to do things in the relationship to keep them secure, because that's someone who's requiring you to jump through hoops. I'm not talking about the givens. Of course, we know if somebody doing something suspicious, we got to say something. If you don't, then you gonna be that doormat. And listen, the Lord done told me a lot of stuff, and He told me to be no doormat. He done told me, hey, listen, you gonna go through with this person, but the reason you're here and the reason you're going through is because you're gonna lend something to the situation that nobody else could. Never ever. If I've been a doormat, it was a learning lesson, and that should never happen again. Because I can help you without you walking on me. I can help you without you walking on me. Sometimes that's the lesson for you, that you don't need to let people walk all over you in order to be a help to them. Because that doesn't, you can't give people something that you don't have. So if you're a doormat, unless they're using you to stand up on, what exactly are you doing?
So this is the word. This is
So-
scripture. This is scripture that says when a man tries to save his life, he loses his life. But when a man tries to loses his life, he shall be saved. Saying that is saying when you try to save yourself from keeping you from going through something, you're gonna lose yourself because you ain't gonna allow yourself to be free. You're gonna bind up, be tied up, and never be free to be able to experience something that can be great because you then held yourself into this space of trying not to lose what you think you have, and you know what, you don't really have nothing. And in fact, and so when you just let it go and just let it flow. Sometimes you just gotta, and I'm not saying not be wise with it. What I'm saying, be prayerful about it and just say, let me see what is this person somebody I'm supposed to just be friends with, somebody I'm supposed to just be, or somebody I'm supposed to be with. You have to. I'm not saying not be smart about it. I've been hurt all around, and I'm not gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest and say, yeah, when I meet a guy, I'm going to say, listen, dude, somebody's gonna be able to wait and allow me to give me that grace and allow me to that space for you to earn my trust, because it's so much grimy and treacherousness going on in this world. I want to trust you. I want to give you my heart wholeheartedly, and I'm giving it probably wholeheartedly. But at the same time, I'm asking you not to jump through hoops, but just keep that communication flow. All I'm asking is, like little things. I'm not saying jump through hoops or like me be like, oh, where you at? Why didn't you call me? Da, 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 da. No, I need to make sure I'm working on me at the same time in that same area. So that's why I'm like, if you find someone that's willing, then okay, we're both willing to make this thing work. I'm willing to chill. I'm willing to say, you good. I'll talk to you whenever I get you going out, go and have a good time. And I see you when you get back. But then it's going to come to a point, like, I don't even think about it at all. Because I'm working.
Okay, so let me say this too.
So
In
let me
helping
ask you
someone,
guys.
I'm not saying to be a doormat. God never called for that. In fact, I don't think there's a portion of the Bible where God was anybody's doormat. So there's still a fine line. There's a balance. If you're helping someone and you don't see any growth whatsoever, then you're not helping. You're enabling. There's a
Yes, sir.
difference. So I'm not saying to be anybody's doormat. I would never advise for that. I'm not saying to let anybody use you, abuse you, and treat you in any kind of way, not even in the name of Christ, because I don't think God requires that of you. However, what I am saying is that there's a balance. And if you can't find the balance, then at this point, it may not be your battle. If God assigns you a battle, it's a different story. You know what I'm saying? That was all.
Hold on.
So can I ask you ladies a question?
Go ahead, Anita.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
can I ask you ladies a question? How do you go about building trust with somebody? Because I can trust, but I also want to verify. Like if I start, this is an example. If I meet somebody and we start going on a couple dates or hang out, whatever, and he says my name is so and so when I meet him. Well, if I never see your ID, how do I know that that's really your name or that's really you? I mean, I've been in that, to be honest, I've been in that crazy situation a long time ago.
I gotta answer that.
And then it was like he was living a whole nother life, and I trusted him, but I didn't verify.
There are some things that is only going to be found out through time. I'm not saying you or anybody on this panel, but a lot of people, we're in a microwave society and we want people to be whole and healed and everything now. So I absolutely, I want Lakia to understand that I understand. I get everything that you said, every single thing. But for Anita's question, it takes time. So if you get into a relationship, there's some things it's a saying that says what's done in the dark will come out in the light. A lot of y'all just want to flip on a lot of lights all the time. You don't want to give them a full chance to prove anything. It has to be earned in the same way that trusting you has to be, that you got to earn his trust. It's the same thing, because I know by several names. Because I got several personalities up here, and they all got their own name and identity. So when a person meets me,
my question, hold on.
I can
My
answer
question
that for you, Anita.
My question
I can
is,
answer that.
is it wrong for me to ask him, can I see your ID, to I
May
want to
not be wrong, but
verify
he
that
might be
you're
looking at you
really.
real crazy. He might look at you
I
crazy.
Let me
mean,
let
I'm not
me
saying it's
let
wrong,
me
but he
let me
might
tell
look at
You
you,
you
got to if you got
Anita.
to go through all that, something
Well,
ain't right.
no, listen. Anita
no,
has a
because
valid
I want to
point.
know
An-
who I'm dealing with, and if that's your nickname that you're telling me, and that's what you
Let
go
me
by, that's what you go by.
let
But
me
I
throw it.
still want to know your government name. I mean, that's
Well,
Let me
part
what
throw
of who
this.
happens
you
if he doesn't
are.
feel? So what happens if he doesn't feel like you've earned the right to know his real name? What if you're earning that? Because I mean, you're putting the name out there. So I'm just saying, what if he everybody calls him this name and he's told you that name? Are you saying that
Big
because
mooch.
are you saying that you need him to disclose that information right now for you to be comfortable? Because that may be something that he doesn't do until he gets to know a person a little bit more. So, like, would you
Well,
be willing to
Well,
take that answer? That this is what
well,
everybody calls me, and I'm not really comfortable right now. I don't really know you giving you my government name.
yeah.
I mean,
See,
would you be
see.
comfortable with that?
Now,
no,
see,
I
see,
wouldn't
see,
be
Right,
see,
comfortable with that.
right.
If he
see.
was coming over my house and we were Hulu and chilling, and he sees like my certificate
Hold on.
You want to talk
of
to me, baby?
this, that, and the other thing, and he can see my real
I'm
name
talking
and
to
my
a whole bunch of
real
people.
atmosphere in
There's
my
not having in the
house,
glove
and then
box.
I only know his part of
Girl,
his
Anita.
what
So
his
in the
nickname.
military,
Hold on.
most of
Let
the
me
time
Hold
we
on.
let
already
me
know
Yeah,
their
let me
last
inter-
names. How
go
long
ahead,
was it
Herb.
for
before
Go,
you knew
Herb.
their
Go ahead.
first?
Go ahead, Herb.
for 15 seconds. Let me interject to answer your question, Anita. Where you meet this person at is going to determine the level of quality that the individual is. So
Oh
if you meet
my
this
God.
individual
Not
at a
all the time. No,
Oh
not
my
all the
God.
time.
Oh my God.
let me put it out there. If
I'll
you
That's
listen
meet
to
this
you, but
crazy.
that's not
individual,
true all the
There you go.
time.
let me put it out there. So if you meet
Okay.
this individual at a professional engagement, what are the odds that this individual is going to be using a name that nobody else there knows,
Big
that somebody
mooch.
else can't verify, or somebody else can't introduce you to this individual that you've already vetted that you can trust?
But that's not always the
That's what
case when you meet somebody. You
I'm
can meet somebody at
asking
their
you.
job,
I
Hold on,
think
and
you
Anita.
I
If
heard what
you
you
know
said.
somebody, if you know somebody that you can
her, why you be
trust,
calling people
and they
name like
Right.
that? Man. Why you be
because
calling
it's the only
people
way to get
name
somebody's
like that?
attention.
It's not. It's not
Because
at
he
It's the
likes
only way
all.
to
my
get someone's
name.
attention.
Aggravating.
It's because it's the only way to get people
Herb
to
calling from the
stop
bottom
talking.
It's
stairs.
not.
Anita.
Because it's the only way to get
Hmm.
people to stop talking and listen. Because what I've discovered
No,
is when
Look
there's a whole
here.
lot of talking, that nobody's listening.
I
What I'm
hear what
saying
you're
is if you
saying,
trust, so you,
but
in other
that's
words,
not
you
always
don't trust.
true. If you
I'm
meet
not saying that
somebody,
it is. I'm saying the individual that you trust explicitly, you trust with your life, introduce you to someone else that you're still going to want that person to verify what the other individual that you trust explicitly has told you.
Well,
I
let me
still want
say
to see
this.
his
Let me
ID
say
so
this,
I can
Anita. Let me
verify
answer
who
your
he is.
Anita. Let
Sorry,
me answer
but
your question. Let me answer your question.
guys
Many
lie
years
about it
ago,
all the time.
let me answer your question for you. Many years
Okay.
ago, I was shopping I was doing some home renovations, and I was in Lowe's, I believe it was. And this guy approached me and wanted to talk to me. He introduced himself as Royal. Okay. And so because that was the name he gave me, which is exactly what I did, Sheree. All jokes aside, I started busting up laughing like for real, dude. So of course, because I already know you done already lied to me. That's already a lie. Straight through the door. There is no way, first of all, you're gonna even know where I live. Secondly, you will never set foot in my house. But I am one of them people, I will Google and everybody. I Google everybody, including myself. I did a background check. I background check people, including me. So if I can't find you, you don't exist. You have nothing left to say to me. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody introduces
Hmm.
themselves to me and gives me a nickname, I'm done talking to you straight out the cup. I'm sorry. It
I mean,
is what
not
it is.
right.
That's
No,
just
I understand that, but they can say like, okay, my name's Anita. Um, but if I introduce myself and some of my army friends call me Annette, that's still like a valid that's still a real name. It's just not my real name.
Mm-hmm.
No,
What
sis,
day
you
you
can't
said,
do that. If you're
Anita?
Requiring them to give ID, if they get a different name called, then you can't be mad if they ask you for your ID. I
I'm
just
not
say
Yeah,
asking
the
for
that's
same
fine.
ID.
rules for
That's fine
you
with
that you
me.
have for other people. So for me, if
Hmm.
I were you and I
I'm
was
not asking for
requiring
ID.
ID, I would just have my ID out. Look, here go my ID.
Yeah,
Here's
If
my
you
name. Can I see
that's
yours?
fine for
That
me.
I'm just saying if that's what you're gonna do. But if you're, if you're asking people for their ID because you don't trust that that's the name that's their real name. I mean, for me, if I meet somebody and they give me some weird nickname or whatever, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna ask them. I said, so that's your nickname, right? And so I will say something like, "Oh, I haven't earned your real name." That's cool. So again, oh, I'm Mofo. We just,
Mo-
this is
Mofo,
what we're
let me tell
doing,
you what the dude's real name was. Let me tell you what his real name was
girl.
Frank. Where you get Royal from, Frank?
Royal Frank.
I'm so
I
tired.
mean,
Hold up.
I don't
It,
even
it,
know.
in my
it,
You the number.
I
listen,
ain't
come.
calling you delicious. I ain't calling you royal.
not,
I ain't
I'm
calling
not
you
talking about
dad.
that kind
I
of
ain't calling you
nickname though.
king. I ain't calling you. So again,
Listen,
No, I'm
listen,
not
listen,
talking
I'm
ladies.
about
with
Hold
that
I
on.
kind of
am with you on the
nickname.
name.
We
I
got a
am
couple
with you on the
things
Well,
going
name.
he
on. We got
gave
to.
it to me. He gave it to me as if it was his real
Girl, I
legal
know his
first
girl.
name.
I'm
Now
royal.
I knew
Hey,
straight
what
away
you
that that
doing,
was a
girl? I'm
lie.
royal.
Right, exactly.
I
Please
mean,
don't
Did he
lose that
walk up
track.
on
I'm
you, girl, with the walk up that they do? Like,
Yeah,
hey,
he
how you
tried it. He
doing?
tried it.
I'm royal.
He tried it.
I can't even do it without doing a face. I'm
Hold on, ladies. So I know Brolic T had a question, and I want her to go. Then I'm treating somebody to dinner tomorrow out of the top 10 contributors. So I want to draw that name, and then I have to say who needs counseling. That segment. Then we're gonna get ready to close it out. Brolic T, you had your hand up for a while. What's your gripe?
I mean, it's funny because my mom is sitting here and she actually answered Anita's question about like how to get an ID out of a man. And my mother was like, she could just simply sweet talk him out of his ID. Just be like, oh, you said you was such and such age, but you really don't look that old. She goes, a natural person's going to be like, I'm going to show you how old I am. So then he's going to whip out that
Mama
ID.
had to pull the man thing. That's what men do, girl. You don't look your age. You lying. Where your ID at? Yeah. Mom is right. I like mom. Thank you, mom. Go ahead, take a page out their book. Go ahead, take a page out their book, girl. You don't even look that age. Let me see your ID, boy. Let me see what it says. And they
I
want to
wonder
prove
where
it.
I get it from. I get it from this one right here.
So can I say something real quick? And I know you want to go through, but I've been waiting patiently to answer your question, Scorpio T. No, he wasn't a doormat. No, he was killed. He was beaten and killed. That's worse
By his
by his own people. You know what I'm saying? So
no,
if he
I'm saying
could be beat and killed, that's worse than being a doormat. I'd rather be a doormat than be beaten
what
killed.
I'm saying
I just
is
want to
he
say that it's
agreed
worse.
to that.
He went through something worse that we could never even do. So I
Yeah,
wanted to
but
make
baby,
sure
you
I
ain't
clear
got to be a doormat
So
though.
to
Like that's the
answer
only
your
two
that. I'm
things
not
question,
you
saying
can.
I was
to
a doormat.
respond to that,
Yeah,
to
not being a
respond to
doormat,
that,
but just being
what I
a
mean by that is even the Bible say, no man can take my life. I lay it down.
I lay
That
it down.
means he did
That's
that
all I'm saying.
willingly.
Right,
There's still a
right.
difference in being a willing doormat.
That's
So,
it. Willing
being
to lay
willing
yourself
is something different.
down. Right.
That's why I drew the line when I said a doormat and an enabler. Those are two different things. No growth, enable. You see what I'm saying? So that was just to respond to what you said. That was all.
I got you.
All right. I got to treat somebody to dinner for being the top contributor. I'm
My mom
shaking up
said
the
none of
box.
the ones that are doormats because they lie all the time.
I'm shaking up the box.
You
Who
said
gonna
what?
win?
He
They
gonna
My
put
lie
his
all
mom
the
hands
said
in
time.
out
men
that
are the
box.
ones that are the doormats because they lie all the time.
Oh wow.
I ain't gonna
Oh
even get on that
wow.
yet.
Oh wow.
Mm. All right. So the winner is for the $25 Cash App stimulus package for the month of March for being the top contributor.
Derek,
I'm looking at
Come
Lakia.
on.
I want it.
No,
Congratulations.
the
Come
winner
on.
is Simone Jennifer Smith.
Ah, shucks.
Congratulations, Simone Jennifer Smith.
congratulations, Simone Jennifer Smith.
Congratulations,
Congratulations.
You have a
Simone.
As
presidential
one of the
name. I
top
hope you have a
contributors.
business
I
or
was
something.
trying to win.
So I'm gonna reach out
He
to
got that
her.
TV on. We can't hear nothing.
Who got their TV on? That's real disruptive. All right, now we got to have another segment. Who needs counseling?
Everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Everybody. Me too.
All right, so number one, I've been hearing this a lot, and people been saying, "Oh, your platform, it's a lot of women bashing." Really,
It is.
really.
Yeah.
And for me as the author or creator of this, I know that I go through and I look at this. To understand me is to know that they would look at stuff, analytics. You look at different stuff and say, let me put this out there. But also the same people who say that listen to scripture and they go to church on a regular basis, and most of those scenarios is out of dysfunctions.
Most of what's in
Am
there.
I, when
We
you go
don't
to
know
the
what you're
Bible,
talking
because they were saying, people were saying, oh, it's nothing but female bashing on your platform, and I'm like, yo, I can't help what people bring to me. I don't make this shit up. It comes to me, and people say, hey, post this, whatever, and so be it. So I'm gonna say again, I'm not a woman's basher. I love women. I've been raised predominantly by women, and I think even the guys that come on, they love women, but they just put stuff out there for these conversations to happen. But also, I
So
say this:
do they respect women? You can love them without respecting them. Is there
I
respect?
don't know their respect
Love a
level.
woman without respecting them.
Okay, so let me ask you: do you respect them?
Hell yeah, I respect them, especially when mainly women raised me, whatever. Yes, I respect them.
That's
I
not always
wouldn't be
the
who I
case,
am.
though.
That
I
is the
wouldn't be
most
who I
direct
am.
answer that you have ever given to a question like that, and
You
I
need to
love it.
stop.
No,
Oh, okay,
I'm trying to
I
give you a
take that.
compliment, and you
Yeah, I
went
take
right there.
that.
I was trying to give you. See what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and do a Herb. Dave, Dave. I'm gonna call you like you're at the bottom of the steps. Dave, I'm trying to give you a compliment.
And I'm gonna
I
say, what the
love the
fuck do
fact,
you want? Quit
and
calling my name from the bottom of them stairs.
I'm gonna say, nigga, I'm trying to give you a compliment.
Okay,
So
okay,
shut up
Sherelle,
and
you
take
right.
it.
I'll take it.
Jesus.
My bad. My apologies.
I love the fact that we asked you that question and there was no hesitation. You just said out of hand, yes, I love women and I respect women because I was raised by them. So, to the people who said that there's women bashing on your platform, I'm going to be very honest with you that the scenarios that are presented always have the same slant, as in exonerating a dude for his bad behavior, but then attacking the woman for her response to his bad behavior. I know that you don't make them up because you just said that to me, because before I was like, where are they getting this crap from? But you cleared that up for me, that these are scenarios that other people are bringing to you. But please, we got to own that that's the slant that's on most of them. So to make it seem like that's not the slant and that we're just talking out the side of our necks, that's what gets people upset, because we are always defending a woman's position to react to a man doing something in one of those scenarios that's brought up. That's completely ridiculous. Like the last scenario that you had with the dude that told the woman she can't have no calls after 11. Now, the answer that I gave was, yeah, okay, cool. He can be as mad as he wants to, and I may even comply. But let a ding go off on his phone after 11. I'm just reaching over and stabbing. We ain't got no conversation.
Yeah, you said that.
So let me
seen
tell
that.
you,
I seen that.
if I
I
can't
seen
have
that.
my phone
it's
past
because
11, he
if
ain't
you
having
want to
no
start
phone. Both
having
phones going
absolute
off, damn it.
power over somebody else, like that's what it seems like. Like it
But
seems as
what
though
I want to,
guys want absolute power over women. You want to, it seems like a lot of guys want to be able to tell us what to do, when to screw, how to do it, what to say. And we're supposed to be perfect. We're always supposed to have the
No,
answer,
we're told
and
to
we're
be
supposed,
submissive.
but dudes can get a pass on, oh well, he didn't know
I
any
know where you're
better.
going with
Oh
that,
well,
Brolic
nobody
T.
taught him. Oh well, nobody, It's
Oh,
always
I know you know where I'm going with
dudes
it.
just seem stupid. Like if I was a dude, I would be upset because sometimes the way that it's represented is that dudes are just dumb and that they don't have a brain of their own and they don't make any decisions on their own because everything is the
Okay.
chick's fault.
All right,
A
let me
lot
get
of
So
through the
they
times
segment.
that's how that
they
is.
Let me get through this
And then they
segment.
say, you better watch your fucking mouth.
well,
What? No.
David, I just wanted to say that I expected that answer from you. So I'm glad to adhere because I really did. You said exactly what I thought you would say, and it's evident.
His
So
mom
I
would
just wanted
slap
to
him
say that.
otherwise.
Thank you, Scorpio T. And all I'm saying is, no matter what, when the pastor delivering a message, most of these messages come out of dysfunction. And there's some women in the Bible that did some treacherous things as well. So
Don't discount that.
when stuff is brought out there, a lot of these things is ambiguous. Like even tonight's scenario, you could blame the man all day long, or we could say the woman overreacted. Both of them played a part in it, and I think that's the thing that I try to put out there. Like it depends on the level how you think it. Let's look at both genders to see. Like, oh, he could have communicated, he could have nipped it in the bud, but something stopped him from nipping it in the bud, and something made her say, "Oh, I got to come and roll up on this dude." Or
Maybe
whatever
that's
case.
what
So you got to
President
go
Trump said.
deeper. So no matter what, you need counseling. If you think that I'm a female basher, you need counseling. That's number one. Number
Yeah,
two.
you need counseling too.
You need
Number
counseling.
two. Stop taking jobs. And this is stuff that I know from in the school. Stop taking jobs that you need to rely on your 11-year-old to babysit your 2-year-old all day, causing them to miss school and all that stuff. If this is
Who
happening,
does that?
it's been happening. Do virtual learning. It happens that some parents come pick up their kids, take them out of school early because they got to go to work. Their kids is missing school. They're struggling in school, whatever. Oh, listen, I don't know what to tell you, but you got to have them kids need a right to education. You need counseling. You need a vocational coach. You need
What
something.
about them parents that keep their kids home on
Maybe
virtual
they
and just
just
want to
need
make
some
their
help.
asses get online?
Yeah.
Maybe they just need some help. Because
Well,
we're in a
that
we're
11-year-old
wait a minute,
can't be the
hold on,
person.
stop,
That
hold
can't
on.
be the
We're in a
person.
very different situation right now where there are people, this pandemic and all this stuff, we're still in a very tenuous situation with this, and people's households have been thrown into complete disarray.
I
Not
understand that.
everybody
You can say
has
that
I
again.
understand that.
not everyone has someone that can come in and they can't leave their job because and so it's not, I'm not saying that it's okay. It's never okay for a child not to be able to get their education, but it's also never okay for a parent not to be able to provide for their child. So because we're in a situation that nobody has any control over, what people are doing about it, people is pulling out some crazy,
Yeah. And I
crazy
agree.
solutions and stuff
And I
in
agree.
order just to try to get through this. So if we were not in this pandemic, I got nothing but love for what you just said. But
But you know what?
for
You know
this
what?
time right here, that's a little different because before this pandemic, the people that were doing it,
People were doing it.
that's
People were
ridiculous.
doing it.
It's
People were
ridiculous.
doing it. What I'm telling you, people were doing it before that. They
I
were
know they were.
doing it
That's what
before
I'm
the
saying. Before
pandemic.
that, I agree. It was ridiculous. I was a
Yeah.
latchkey kid. I was responsible for taking care of my siblings. And believe me, I'm like, lady, I ain't had these kids. I couldn't say that because I got smacked into the wall. But I'm like, I didn't have these kids. But unfortunately, that's what's happening at this point with this pandemic and crap going on. Like I can't fully be right there because we just don't know what's going on in their household. Now them lazy
And I
mofos that
know that.
ain't never taking care of their kids, yeah, y'all some trash ass parents. Women, men, whoever you are, you a trash ass parent. But I digress.
I understand that. Finally, we know y'all people got their stimmies. Some people didn't get them. Some people got them. Why the hell do I keep? Remember, I said I get some of this stuff just strolling through Facebook. Why the hell do I keep hearing people paying for all these expensive ass dogs? $500. I just bought $1,000 dog. Why? Why are you spending that much money?
Wasting money on a damn dog.
Yeah, on a dog.
I spent $2,000 on mine, but that was 11 years ago.
I mean, some people spend $700 on a phone. I'm not about to talk about how nobody.
Well, phone is like a payment plan or something. It's
and
like
a payment plan. So $700 for your phone for the new how much is this new iPhone that's gonna come out? Like $800 something, or people are paying $800, $900 for some shoes, some shit you gonna put on your feet and literally
So
walk through the dirt on. So I don't care about what you
Mhm.
spend your money on. I'm caring about what I spend mine
Yeah,
on. I don't care about
you
what
So,
know,
nobody else do
okay,
with their
look,
money at
can
their
I
house.
years
finish? Can I
ago.
finish? So,
Yeah.
if that's the case, and you got 1,400, whatever you got, and you decide, oh, I want to spend $1,000 on this dog for show and tell. Look, I got this dog, some name you can't even pronounce the type of brand or dog it is, and you struggle throughout.
That's because
Don't
they're
you think?
stupid.
That's different.
That's because they're
Well, that's
stupid.
what I'm saying. What I see,
That's
you
because
need
they're
counseling.
stupid.
They
That's
need
stu-
counseling.
So they're stupid.
stupidity.
I'm,
That's
but
stupidity at its
again,
best.
but
I mean,
people
a
do
lot
that
of
about
Stupidity.
their
people
That's
got
on a
those
damn
phones.
So let
dog.
me
You
stupid
ask
need
pets
to
this
and
pay
they
for
didn't
question,
the damn
Dave.
right
necessarily need it.
phone. That's stupidity.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question, Dave. Are they buying that dog in hopes of it being a stream of income through breeding?
And I think essentially that's what they may be doing. I'm not sure, not everybody, but I just see all these people with these different breeds of dogs and all that stuff. I'm like, for real, like, is it that serious? And I understand people that get the dogs, they breed them and they make good money. These dogs get predated, go through cycles, and they sell these dogs for $500, $600. Yeah, they're killing it.
They only worth
Killing
that
it.
much if they full breed. If they
My only
ain't worth that
question
much.
is, why are
My
you a dog
German
owner and you
Shepherd
walking
is
your
a
dog without a
purebred,
bag? That's my question.
and my female
Dog
had
owner.
19 puppies, and I made all of my money back, and some. But again, that was 11 years ago.
And
But
probably true. That's
everybody
why I
don't need.
asked.
Yeah, everybody don't need their stimulus check. The income cutoff for that is pretty high, and everybody who got one didn't necessarily need it. They weren't hard pressed to get it. But if I had to feed my family, that would be a whole different scenario. So I don't have no problems with nobody spending a lot of money on a dog if you can afford it, if that's what you like.
A lady used to come
I
into my
don't care
nail
what
shop
you
that spent
spend your money on.
$1,000 on a cat. Girl,
I don't
I
care
don't
what you
care.
spend your money on. Don't pick the phone up and call me for none. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
That
That's all
part.
I'm saying.
What
That
she
You
part.
spend your
said.
money on
That
getting a
part.
dog, cat, and all this stuff,
That
and then you
part.
call me talking about, can I get
He ain't got no
$25?
food.
Hell
Because he ain't got
no.
no food. That's just
Right.
I
you
don't
ain't got
like
an
when
expensive car
I
and you
don't like
can't
when
put no
somebody
gas
calls
in
and
it.
you got your stimulus
That's
check.
right. Better
I'm
eat
like,
that
why?
dog.
Why you wanna know I got my stimulus check? Don't worry about that.
Did you say eat the dog? Did you say eat
Don't
the
worry
dog?
about
I
that.
did you say
Oh
eat the
man.
dog?
I agree. You don't need
My
therapy. You
stimmy
just,
is my
Hey, I just throw these out
Dog.
there. I
Look,
think they're
I've been listening
interesting
to smart
conversations,
comments
just
all
stuff that
night
I
that
see.
y'all ain't even get to hear.
What you say?
I said I've been listening to smart comments that y'all all night that y'all haven't even heard.
From
She
I
your
would
said,
mother?
love to
eat
hear
the
him. Oh my God, I
dog.
would love. She said, "Eat the dog, bitch. Eat the dog. Don't
Hey,
call me for no money.
yeah,
Eat the dog.
yeah. If you spending that much money, you might as well cook him up. Cook him
He
up.
tastes good. He
okay.
said he tastes good. Huh? You
Yeah.
stick him on the grill. What's wrong with you?
I'm
Mm.
just saying, don't call me talking about your
But no,
homie.
when I worked in the nail salon, I
Too much
actually
for
used
that.
to bash this woman. And I had to apologize to that woman because she would come in bragging about she spent $1,000 on this cat. And no, I'm going in like, girl, you could go outside and get a feral cat. Girl, we buy Chinese place.
No, you
There's a
can't.
whole bunch of cats, right? But I had to think about that. The one day she came in, I said, you know what? I owe you an apology because I've been hating on you about that $1,000 for the cat. I said, because really what I want to know is how to get to the point where I got so much money that I could throw
Right.
$1,000 away too. Bitch,
You
I
buy
don't care
cat
what
too.
you spent that $1,000 on. Tell me what you're doing so that I could get to the point where I
Okay.
got $1,000 to spend on just
Okay.
any dumb thing I want to. I will never hate on you again. That lady hugged me and listen, she was an admitted racist. That woman hugged me. She said, "You're the first person who's ever said to me, girl, I want to know what you're doing. I need
Right.
to know what you're doing so that I can have $1,000 to just buy nail polish with. Because it might not be a cat, bitch, but what floats your boat might not float mine. Mine might be a cricket or some paper or whatever. But I just want to get to the point where $1,000 can go up out of my house on basically some bullshit, and I don't bat an eye. And as a matter of fact, I'm coming and bragging about it. That's what I want to do. So I'm
Well,
sorry
that
for
probably
hating on
was
you,
her
lady.
fur baby. That
She
probably some
bought it
people
because
think
she was
that.
getting back at her husband. See, that's what says sometimes you gotta listen to people. She bought the $1,000 cat because she was getting back at her husband for making a $25,000 purchase that he didn't need. Again, I just need to know what y'all doing. That's it. I just need to know what y'all doing. He bought something for $25,000, a motorcycle that she didn't think he needed. So she was like, oh, well, fuck it. I'm going to just go and spend $1,000 on the cat. What is y'all doing? I need to know what y'all doing because I don't
Oh
need
no,
to hate
baby,
on what
I
you're
must
spending
match
it
you.
on.
You
I
spent
just need to be there.
25,000. I gotta spend 26 or
Baby.
27. We gotta match. We
And I
gotta
just want
match.
to get to that point where I can match and not give a
Right.
damn about it. I want to be able to have that kind of argument. Y'all mofos is arguing
Okay.
over whether a mofo need to be held accountable on some location. I'm trying to figure out how we can just both go out and blow 25 fucking grand
Okay.
and nobody bats an eye. That's what
That's
I want to
it.
build. That's what I'm
That's
building.
it.
That's the helpmate
Yep,
that I need.
that's
Not no
it.
motherfucker that want to track around that. Track this money.
Yep.
All right. So we gonna get ready to close it out. The talking points. Herb, you still with us? All right, go move on down the line. Lakia, what's your closing point with this conversation?
I had to be the first one.
I'm just going
You
in
ain't
the
first, you
order.
last.
Let her
Okay.
go, Dave.
Bobby, if
Let
you ain't
her.
first, you last.
Oh, you know
You
what?
gotta take a shot for your
I need
girl.
Deacon to go sit in the
Last.
corner with that comment.
Right,
Uh,
funny.
Breed black women, make single mothers. Go sit in the corner. Go sit in the corner.
What the fuck is
Just
that?
don't even
What does
pay.
that
Listen,
mean?
I said, go sit in the corner. Go
listen
sit in the
to
corner and
me.
face the wall. We're just not even
We're
Listen
not
to
going
doing
there.
that
me.
tonight.
That's
We're not
that's
doing
Listen,
that.
Dave
bait.
is
What the
trying to
fuck
get
is
out
Go
of
that
here.
sit in
We're
the
not
supposed to
corner
doing that
mean?
and we're not
tonight.
even going to
That's
talk about
bait.
it.
We're
And
not
that's why
doing
they
that
was
tonight.
Table
just
that.
there.
Table that for another day. We're not even doing
Keep it
it.
moving. Keep it moving.
Sit in
Nope.
the corner. I'm not even touching
Nope.
that.
I'll find out, and I'm sure there'll be a post behind that on my end.
I'm
No.
pretty sure I'm gonna find out, but I'm just not
No.
talking about it right now. We just gonna table that for another
I
day.
don't even want to know. I don't even want to
About it.
know. No. We got some shit
I'm mad at
somewhere else.
Kirsten up there
No.
crying.
Girl. Come on
That's
here.
so hard she crying.
Y'all missed one of the comments. But Dave Herb is back.
All right, Herb. We already know what Herb gonna say. Go ahead, Herb.
Wow. I was pondering because eventually the information is going to get out, but I'm just waiting on a confirmation test on a potential pregnancy. So we'll see what happens. But
On a
you know my
potential pregnancy. What do you want? No,
You have to call
curve,
him.
man.
no, we not just getting
Godspeed. See
close
you next
over
time.
there, Herb.
Herb
We not
about to be a
close over there,
daddy.
Herb. Herb, Mr.
Well, I hope
What?
it's a
Fruit chick
girl.
that can't have babies.
I hope
Miss Herb,
it's a
that
girl.
shut
I
your
hope she
face.
doesn't end up becoming a single
Shut
mother. The
your
one thing
face.
that he always wants to
Shut
have.
your
I'm just
Right?
saying.
face.
Well, I pray that they can stick together and raise the kids civilly. And he doesn't get to eat a taste
Herb
of his
about to be a
own shit coming
daddy.
back. So I'm just saying. I'm not trying to take shots. I just pray that man does not have to
Fuck
live
that.
up to the words that he's
I'm
always
taking
trying to
shots.
dish on us. Because karma's about to
I'm
come back for
taking
Go
that
hate
ass with
the
a
shots.
play, hate the game. Herb about
I'm
to be a
taking
daddy.
shots. I'm
Wait a minute,
taking
y'all
He coming
shots.
out
taking
here
and
with
That would
running
be
with
just
cigars.
like
people
Oh,
I would
yeah.
Karma
I
is
would
about to
expect
come
y'all to
back
take
for
shots if
that
I came up
ass.
pregnant.
Ain't he the one that said some people should not have children?
Yes, yes. Karma
Can't y'all be happy for him?
Nope.
Herb is not happy
Look,
for
it's a
him.
girl.
Herb is not happy for him. Herb has gone on record as
is
saying
gonna
that
cry
he
all
never
night,
wants to be a
especially
father,
when he is
and that's the
pregnant.
reason
He
that he's
really gonna
killing
come
chicks
here
that
with
don't
an
got no
attitude when we
ovaries.
see him
Nope.
again. He
Mm-mm.
really gonna holler
Well,
and
he
out
said,
Mm-mm.
listen,
I'm too
y'all.
old and all
Listen,
that
y'all.
other shit. Hell no, he ain't happy.
Well, listen,
He
he
dropped
only
that
said that
news and he
there's a
bounced out on
he
y'all.
only
Yep,
wait a
because he
minute.
didn't
Wait
want
a
to stick
minute
around
now.
for fire.
He only said that there's the potential. There is no definitive answer at this point. All I'm going to say is that I truly hope that if this test is positive, that he has a pretty, pretty little girl. And I hope that the Lord blesses him and guides him along his journey.
Mhm.
Real talk. Real talk. Real
That's so
talk.
nice of you, Scorpio T.
I mean that.
All
I mean
right.
that because it's easy to talk things when you don't know things. And by that I mean this: that classic textbook stuff will be proved wrong almost immediately.
Yep.
Almost immediately.
Herb
So
ain't never been
he's
preaching
gonna
no
have to
classic
he,
textbook
he
stuff.
will be
He
um
Herb been
he will be he will be rethinking his entire life. For real, all jokes aside, and that's something major and it can be traumatic. He'd be rethinking his whole entire life at that point. So
Well, you know
I'm
what?
hoping
that
for the
woman.
best.
I said karma's gonna come if it is true, karma's gonna come back with a fucking vengeance. All that shit that he sold is all about to come right back to him, and it's
Well,
gonna
listen.
2
Today
weeks
is April
ago.
Fool's Day.
It got
April
to
Fool's
be. It
Day.
got to be a joke. It got to be a joke.
But
April Fool's Day.
Because
but that's
2
not
Okay,
even
weeks
funny to
ago,
Sharia,
joke
because
about.
2
that's
weeks,
not
because
That is
funny.
2
not
weeks
funny to
ago,
joke
listen to
That's
about.
me.
not funny
I
at
know
all.
all of y'all remember.
That's
I
not
Because
know
some
all
funny.
of
people
y'all
can't
remember
have
his
That's
speech
not
from
kids.
funny.
2 years ago. From 2 weeks ago, I know y'all remember his speech where he said that he went through and he had a life lesson that it took a potential scare
thank
for
you,
him to
Sharia.
realize that he should
That he
just
Right.
didn't want to
stop,
have no
that
damn
he should
kids.
just stop screwing women that can have kids. Now, I'm sorry,
Yep.
I'm glad that there was a lesson, but he didn't learn to stop to wrap it up. He didn't learn to stop
Man,
splooshing over
Herb
those
got him
ovaries.
some
He
punani
learned
that he
not to,
couldn't
and so
resist.
now he just no Herb got either duped or Herb's a liar. Either Herb got duped or
They
Herb is the
stupid.
liar.
Thank you, Sharia. Thank
No,
you. Stop
that
falling for the
look,
okie doke,
because
y'all.
if I came on here as many times as you all have heard me say, I ain't punching no more babies out. I ain't get married. If I came on here talking about I might be pregnant, I would expect y'all to go in on me because damn it, I am the poster child for what ain't fucking happening to me. And Herb has been the poster
Listen,
dude
y'all chill.
for
That's
I'm
gonna be
not gonna
my
No,
goddaughter
listen.
son.
My mom
It
said he
ain't gonna
didn't
be
say
no
it was a
nothing
woman.
because
She
it's an
said it
April
could be
Fool's joke.
this a April Fool's joke.
Oh, it could be
Period
That's
one
point
of
not
his
even
blank.
Gotta be.
funny.
it
Period
could be
point
one of his
blank.
It's not.
checks.
It's not even
Listen,
My
funny to
and
be
mom
an
said
people
he
joke
April
didn't say
about
it
Fool's
was
everything
joke.
a
lighten
woman.
up,
She
girl.
said it could be a
Lighten
cat
up.
he's
Listen,
talking about.
people joke about
He might be a
everything. Lighten
grandpa.
up. He is just
Oh, his cat
no.
might be pregnant. His cat might be pregnant.
Yeah, he finna be a fur daddy. He finna be a fur
Yeah,
daddy.
Exactly.
That's
He's
the
going
only
to be a
thing. That's
fur
the only thing about
granddaddy.
Herb.
that's
I'm glad
good.
that he was
No,
specifying as a woman. She goes, that cat
no.
be pregnant.
Sound like y'all jelly hearted. Oh
Shut your face.
God.
Ain't
Don't fall
Not
for
nobody
the
sound no
okie
jelly.
doke,
jelly
y'all.
hearted.
Don't
We
fall
about to.
for
Oh,
it.
it's a joke.
No.
It got to
Oh
be a
man.
joke. Got to be a joke.
And if it
Yeah,
is
it
an
gotta
Got to
be
April
be
a
a
Fool's
joke.
joke.
joke,
I don't believe it.
it's not even funny because some women cannot have children that really want children that would be a really good parent.
Come on, Anita. We gotta lighten up
Listen.
sometime
That
about the
ain't got
jokes,
nothing to do
okay?
with it. Just
Listen,
don't
Nah,
my
fall for
I
the
son
know.
called
okie
me
doke,
on
y'all.
for April Fool's
Listen,
talking about
don't
he was gonna
hate
drop
on
my
my
house and
godson,
be a Chippendale
Herb
dancer.
Jr.,
You mean your
or my goddaughter,
godson,
Herbita.
Yeah.
Don't hate
It's
on me.
gonna be a
goddaughter?
fur
You just
baby.
say
He don't
Herbina.
bless him with
You
a damn
fired.
son with all the shit
Herbina.
he talk. He get
Herbina.
Herbita.
better. He
Herbita.
getting
Don't
Herbina.
better.
You
hate on it.
fired, Dave. Herbina. Really? Herbina.
Herb-
Hell
Herbita.
no.
Deal with you.
Herbita.
Don't
Herbina.
punish her like that.
I
We've
And
been
hate
you
this
telling
and
shit
you
you
right
all
told
now.
along, know your
Dave,
personnel.
and
Now
you
come
told us not
on.
to go in,
Y'all
Dave.
know,
You
y'all know
told
what
Herb
us
you're
not to
cat
go
is
in.
saying.
You named that
pregnant.
baby Herbina.
Don't fall for the okie doke, y'all.
It's the
You
cat.
talking about somebody who
Herbina.
refused to talk about his personal life whatsoever. You really think
Mm-hmm.
he just gonna be, I
So
think I
the
got
cat
somebody
must be
pregnant.
pregnant.
Come
Because that
on
was
now, don't
the
fall
least
for it.
funniest April
Exactly,
Fool's
exactly.
book I ever heard in my life. That was his attempt at a jerk. I need him to go and learn what jokes are. 'Cause that
He
was
just wanted
It's
to
a
put
it's a
something out
joke
there
until
so
he
that
hold a
somebody
baby
would
up to
have
the
something
screen to me.
shitty to
I don't give
say,
a damn. But for 9 months
so
it's
that
gonna
he
be
would
a
have a
joke
reason
until
to
he hold
try
a
to
baby up
tear
to the
somebody up on the
screen.
internet.
No,
Don't fall for it, ladies.
no,
Don't
Yeah,
fall for
yeah,
it.
no,
yeah, so funny,
no,
whatever.
no,
All
I'm
right.
gonna
no.
leave it as the cat pregnant. We just gonna keep it with that.
Mm-hmm.
Said his cat pregnant. All right, closing points.
He's gonna be a meow daddy.
Say he will find out Monday. Stay
Like I
tuned.
said,
We'll
We'll
find
find
out
he
out.
was
Monday.
the one talking about he
I
don't
don't
mess
give a
with
fuck.
women
Listen, I
that
don't
can
know
have
why
babies
Herb be trying
anymore.
to do cliffhangers with himself. Okay, it's a fucking joke. We don't care about no waiting until Monday, do we? Whatever. It's not no
Like I
Thank
said,
you.
Nah.
cliffhanger.
cat
Stop it.
pregnant.
Resurrection Day, people. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
whew,
Well,
okay.
everybody, I wish you guys a happy Easter and a good weekend. I got to go. So
Okay, Nita.
Good night.
Same to you. Good night.
See you
Take care.
later.
Resurrection Day.
night.
All right. So who next? Lakia.
I'll
Lakia.
follow that since I'm at 3%.
Scary.
I'm calling you from the bottom stairs. What's
That
your
sounds
closing
scary
point?
for me. Well,
You know what's
I'm gonna go back to what I said before. A man that loses his life shall be saved.
Okay. Rebecca.
I have to steal this from Lakia because when the first time she said it, I just can't get away from it. You handle your shit over there, I'll handle mine over here.
All right. Robert T. Latoya.
Yes, sir.
What's your closing point?
Calling my damn name like that. I
That's
don't owe
right.
you no money. I don't owe you no money.
What you say?
Don't nothing hurt but a lick.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up, Soraya. I
You
see
keep
that
saying,
face.
girl, it was girl.
I see that face. Because when you was like, I don't like the lick.
Not the
Like,
ones I get. Like, damn, what you talking about? Like, okay.
it's the
Y'all
saying
done
my
dropped a
grandma.
couple good sayings
It's
up on
a
here
saying
now.
my
Make
grandma
me
had
giggle
growing
every
up. She
day.
would tell us it basically means that what people say about you doesn't mean anything as long as they keep their fucking hands to themselves. So she would say, "Don't nothing hurt but a lick." Only thing that hurts is if they hit you. Then you better bust their ass. But other than that, people
I'm
say
glad
what the
you
fuck they
explained it because
want.
I was so confused. I was like, girl, not the kind I get.
Yes, that's what I mean when I say don't nothing hurt but a lick. I mean, people can say what they want. That shit roll off my back. I don't care. If you put your hands on me, I'm gonna beat you to the white meat show. We're gonna keep it at that.
All right then.
To the white
Mo,
meat.
The white
mofo.
They
meat,
beat
bitch. The
your
white
brain. I'm gonna beat you to the matter show.
Well, you already know what I'm saying. Check yourself more than you try to check other people. Your life will get much better. Fair exchange is no robbery, so stop being a fucking thief up out here. And just for Lakia, I'm gonna add another one so that she knows that I'm not a heathen. And I know the Bible too. He said that if you give man the fish, you can feed him for a day, but if you teach him, he'll eat for a lifetime. So I'm gonna go ahead and teach them and let them learn on their own. And I'm gonna keep my fucking fish to myself. That's not that.
All right.
Scorpio T.
You already know. To thine own self be true.
Y'all so cute. All of y'all. Y'all so cute with y'all statements. I
My
love
mom
them.
says self-love is first and charity starts at home.
Nuh-uh, mom. No,
Okay.
no, mom,
She
I'm
is
not
not
accepting that
lying.
from her.
Good
Tell her I'm not
one.
accepting
Good
that
one,
from her.
mama.
Nope.
It's
No,
Mama
I'm not
T.
accepting that from her. That girl done told
Mama-
us to eat the dog, bitch. I need a snapping.
Mama T.
No.
Yeah,
She told us
you
to eat
is
the
right.
dog, bitch.
Yeah,
No,
she
mama,
came
I need
raw.
a
She
snapping. I
came
need a
raw.
raw,
You go buy that
goddamn
dog, you
rib.
better eat it afterwards.
No, mom. No, mom. No, mom. I need a snappy
Mama
one.
T,
Let's
she
go.
said it. She said it.
Lord.
Hey.
Said, eat the dog, bitch. Eat the dog.
You won't lay.
I'm gonna
put it over
say
there
that
in
to somebody
China.
tomorrow. I'm gonna find a reason to say that to somebody tomorrow. Eat the dog. Eat the dog. That's gonna be an answer in a group tomorrow. Eat the dog.
Eat the dog.
You hungry? Eat the dog.
Dog.
Man.
Mm.
And I'm going to close it out and say, hey, man, we already know how this goes. Everything is ambiguous. There's only a couple absolutes. And we deal with these conversations. We bring our experiences to the table and we talk about it. And we can go back and forth all day long. But I can tell you, I'm going to admit, I learn every time that we're on this platform. I learn every time. Each of you bring some valuable insight to the discussion. So it makes you think afterwards. And for me, how my mind works, I say, damn, I got something. It's spinning. Everything is spinning. So when you start seeing me firing off posts, then you know where it's coming from. So I like to thank each and every one of you for bringing your insight, your personal experiences to the topics. And hey, let's just keep going. And man, I don't want it to be Herbina. I hope when Herb said it's
Please,
little
you
Herb
said that
Jr.
shit. You put it right out there in the universe. You said
Put that name
you
out
told
there.
us to stop doing
So we
it.
gonna find out Monday.
Immediately.
Am I gonna be the godfather for Herbert Jr. or Herbina.
No, that's
Or
gonna
are
be
you
a
gonna
guy.
be the
Can't be that
godfather
damn
to one of his
gullible.
You
babies?
are gonna be standing in the corner for picking them names. That's where you gonna be at.
Okay. Herbina.
It is what it is.
Or you gonna have a kitten christening where you gonna be the godfather. That's what's gonna happen. You gonna have a kitten christening.
And they gonna
That's
come
what that
on one of
he
these
gonna
I
invite
want
Mondays
you over
with
too,
they
dinner and
hat, they
everything.
special fedora on. Like, man,
We're
my
gonna put a
God,
fedora on a
anybody.
pet.
And that
What you
ugly
say?
ass sweater. The cat
There
was
you
all
go.
fucked up.
There you go. In the ugly blazer, right?
He gonna be buying that poor godchild all types of ugly shit, and it's just gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I wasn't even gonna comment on the blazer. He just threw it out there.
Hey, hey.
I was gonna let it go.
You know, I can
If
take the
y'all don't
smoke.
leave that
Gonna
man's
let it
clothes
go.
alone, leave that
I can
man
take the smoke.
alone.
Oh, you sitting up there looking like somebody's couch. I'm just
Bitch, I knew you was gonna say the couch. I knew you was gonna say the couch. I thought you was gonna say the Drake bitch.
You already know I'm built for this. I'm built for this. Remember this. At the end of the day,
I
North
love the
Avenue
hat.
for life.
The jacket
I'm
just
just
look.
gonna tell y'all something. I took my glasses off, so the whole time I'm looking at it, Herb, I didn't even know that was a jacket. I thought it
First
was
of all,
like a
that's Dave.
See it?
That's
You
Dave.
see it?
sweater.
First,
You
that's Dave.
see it.
That's
You see
Dave.
You thought it
see
was a quilt? Is that what you said? You thought it was a
He
quilt?
was wrapped in a blanket.
You thought he was wrapped up in a quilt?
Does it have shoulder pads? And does it have shoulder pads? Is those shoulder pads in there?
No,
I
you
can't
ain't got no shoulder
Look at
pads.
that, y'all.
Anybody know me?
Real,
Anybody
real.
know me? Anybody know me? My shoulders are already broad. I'm built like that. I'm built
So
like
let
that.
me ask,
Oh
what
my
color
God, I
pants
hate
do
you
you
for
have on with that?
Oh,
Huh?
What color pants do you have on
he
with
don't got
that?
no pants
I got no
on.
pants.
He
I
don't
got on
got
my
no
damn
pants on.
shorts. I
He
got on
don't
my
have any
shorts
pants
with it.
on.
What color
He
pants
threw that
did you
jacket
have
on
on
thinking
with
that
that?
that was the come up. Ooh, okay.
I didn't have
You
on
know.
no pants. I put this on before the show. You know how I do it. Come on now. Y'all can stop playing me, man.
I'm gonna
Oh,
need
you
you to
playing
start
you. We
sending us.
know.
I'm
I
gonna need
already
you to
knew you ain't
start
had no
sending
pants
us
on.
pictures in Messenger of what you plan to wear before you do it. Cause some of the shit you be coming on with, I'm sorry.
No, first of all, and I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this smoke. Y'all only commented on the
Selection, but
sweater.
some of this jacket, I just like no. I'd have told you don't do it.
Baby,
Nah,
wouldn't nobody, no woman would ever buy that for you.
bought
No,
it
Know
myself.
this.
no.
We know
Let
you
me
bought it
tell you
yourself,
this. Let me
babe. We
tell you
know
this.
you bought
Let
it
me
yourself.
tell you this.
We
Let me
absolutely
tell you
know.
this. I can wear this out in public, and you'll see about 10 other dudes the following week that I'm a trendsetter. I'm gonna sit
Grandpa
and tell
probably.
you. I'm gonna
Grandpa
tell you that.
probably.
Huh?
The
My
good
No, you
grandpa
thing,
wouldn't.
probably. I would see my
You would.
grandpa
No, you
wearing
wouldn't.
that.
the good thing is that it looks like the hat goes with it. At least he's matching.
Well, he has
All
on
day
every
long.
color, so of course the
All
That's
hat
what I'm
will
day
go with it.
saying.
long. All
The hat,
day
his
long.
hats always match whatever he has. It's just
All,
you know.
all day long, like Lionel Richie, baby. Y'all already know.
That's
Please leave
okay.
this man alone by his clothes. Let this
Thank you,
man live
Saray.
with
And
his
I'm gonna be
clothes.
yeah.
Just let him
No,
live. Don't
it's
say
too
you're gonna
much
be fly.
fun.
Don't say that, Dave. Don't. That's too
It's
far.
too
I'm
much
just saying
fun.
that
Hold
we
up.
gotta
Now
leave
I'm
him
gonna crack
alone in
back.
his
I'm gonna
clothes.
crack back. Rebecca,
We
girly
gotta leave
girl.
him
You
alone.
sitting up there looking like a
It's,
Rubik's Cube?
and
A
somebody
fine one.
wants to move them, and
A
somebody wants to
fine
move your
one.
blocks too.
A
Nobody
fine
wants to
one.
move the blocks on your jacket, but somebody wants to move the
Absolutely
blocks on that
stunning.
sweater. Somebody
Most
Yeah.
wants to move the
motherfuckers
blocks
don't
on
get
Rebecca's
past
sweater.
here to even see all of this, so I'm fine
I
with.
take that. I take that.
Yeah,
I take that.
yeah. Don't front. You like this? Don't front. Yeah, don't play.
Yeah,
It's all
funny.
good, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
my fault. We gonna get you out of that little wardrobe malfunction thing that you got going on. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right.
Y'all,
That
y'all only
that
got two
man loves
things
his
on me.
wardrobe. He loves his
I love it.
wardrobe.
I
So
love it. I
you can't
love
get
it.
him out of it because he loves it.
We love you anyway. Yeah,
I know. I
we
love
ain't
y'all
come to
too. I
Texas
love y'all
wearing
too.
that,
I'm
but
gonna be
Listen, I got a
Texas,
cricket wig on. Don't worry
Texas.
though. I'm
I
gonna
can
give
wear
you
the
that
hell
for
whenever I
Dave.
want in
If I wear a
Texas.
cricket
now
wig,
I
Dave
ain't,
can wear that.
I ain't never known them to be the fashion capital.
they know how to. You can't wear that.
she's saying while you out with her in public in Texas, that's a
Yeah,
no
we're
no.
not doing that or the sweaters. Just go ahead on and put the polo
I
shirt
mean, I
on.
wouldn't
You'll
want
be
to
all
wear none
right.
of that shit out there because it's hot as fuck in Texas. You gonna pass the fuck out.
It is hot.
I'm about to. Y'all lucky I ain't gonna drop the mic and run off. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I put this on for y'all ladies because I knew y'all was gonna appreciate it.
Right. What did we do to you?
Oh, she
Okay.
said, "What did we do to you? We ran this boy out. That's what we did. They be getting us back for that stuff."
Girl, his ass was on fire this week on the internet. Just
Who? Who, me? Who, me or her?
Oh, the reaction. Like, how you tell somebody to just shut the fuck up like that? Like, whoa.
Oh, who told
Oh,
somebody
you
to
talking
shut
about
the
in
fuck
that
up?
one
I'm sorry.
post? Oh, you talking about that one post? Oh.
Whoa.
Did I
He
miss?
put up
I
a
missed something
post.
again. I done missed
He
something
was straight
again.
through 100.
He put up a post that asked the question, what can you do? What can a man do for me in
this lady in
2021?
2021?
Well, the lady had on, she was super curvy.
She was fine as
she
hell.
had on a sweater. She had on tights. And she had on over the knee boots. And so his comment was, I would leave her alone. That's all he said. So Dave said, why? And he said, too young, and her dress isn't suited for a man like me. So one of the ladies said, she's got on a sweater, tights, over the knee boots. She's completely covered. That's all she said. He put in all caps, mind your own damn business. Don't be trying to speak for me. Blah, 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 blah. So then somebody said something like, how can you tell how old she is?
That was Lakia.
Okay.
He was like, how can you tell how old she is? Because black don't crack.
You need to mind your business too. Don't make your issues mine. And so she snapped back and said, tell the truth, it's because she's the right color. She's the wrong color, which really got him lit. And then she said, oh, my bad. Wait a minute. She said, oh, my bad. It's because you're a 3 and she's a 10, which really just did it after that.
I mean, he the one who started trying to have that conversation with that question about people finances.
Put a number on yourself.
That shit wouldn't come back to him.
Right. And then the other dude
you
tried
to put a number on yourself based on your income. So he said 0 to 10,000, you're a 1, 2,000 to 20, you're a 2, 3,000, or 30,000 to 40,000. You're a 3. So he asked everybody to say what number they was, and he said he was a 3 to 4.
Right.
And now it's just been like a running joke with motherfuckers because they're like, oh, you a 3.
And now he mad as hell because he stuck his foot in his mouth and made himself a running joke.
Everybody else made
trying to be a jerk.
Girl, he was cutting people up on the internet last week.
Yeah. So the woman was curvy. So David, the woman was. You said the woman was fine as hell.
Girl,
that's not a woman.
She was fine as hell.
We've already discussed that Herb is not looking for a chick. Did we not?
I don't know what there. I was like, what's the problem? What's the problem? She was fine as hell.
We've already discussed that.
Yes, she was.
Nice. Remember when I told you before that if you take Herb's advice, you're gonna live Herb's life. Herb is not set up that he's looking for some, female. He could give a damn less. That's why I know that either the cat is pregnant or it's a damn no, because he don't give a damn about that kind of stuff. He has set his life up to be as unattractive to a woman as a man possibly can. So
thank you.
That's his choice. I'm not so shade. He's chosen to do that. He's talked about choices that he has made. And so a woman, if you're telling me that this was a woman that was fine to death and all this stuff, the reason that she's out of his league is because there's nothing that he's done that would make him attractive to that type of a woman. She wants a man with a car. She wants a dude that's, that'll open a door, that'll pump some gas. She wants that type of a woman is going to want some things that Herb's not willing to do. So he didn't lie to you when he said she wasn't his type. He just misrepresented it. Herb has made himself completely unattractive to women, darling. And Herb, if you listen, just in case you didn't know that, you have. You made yourself completely unattractive to women and then complain that women aren't attractive. Like, I don't understand. That's how women do that are trying to make themselves unattractive to men because of whatever traumas in the past. They will make themselves unattractive. Yes. And then, some of them will go on to complain that men aren't attracted to them. And those are the ones that men like to get on. So for me, Herb is like the male version of that. You know what I'm saying? Making himself unattractive to women and then complaining that women aren't, attracted, or they're not right because they don't want to do that, doesn't have the things that they want. Like, so no.
When he
Not
did the whole
so
put a
Let me
nah.
number
say,
on
let me
yourself
say
thing,
something,
I
y'all.
think what he was trying to do was to make a point that, see, y'all women won't date a person who's like a 3 or a 4. And nobody ever got a chance to tell him, oh, kind of like how y'all won't date a black single mother. Same thing. That's our fucking prerogative, just like it's yours, except we don't run around telling the whole world, don't date a man who's a 3 because they ain't about
Exactly.
shit. Just let them die alone. And he just got trapped in
And
that.
let him
Just
die
like
alone.
to stop
That's what
yelling
they
at me from the
said.
bottom of the
Say that
stairs.
during that male discussion. Somebody
Yup,
said
that's what
single
Dude
mother should
said
die alone. Somebody did say that.
on their page. Let the
And
single, yeah.
quietly, Lakia has been coming for his ass very politely, very calmly, and it has been getting up underneath his skin because when she said stop yelling at me like you at the bottom of the stairs,
That threw me,
that
girl. I
shit
ain't
Oh,
never
that
gonna
threw
forget
his
that
ass
shit.
to a loop.
I'm never gonna forget it. I'm never gonna forget it. Never, Lakia. Just like with Anita and her dick germs. I'm never gonna forget that. Never gonna
Anita
forget
told
it.
me,
Oh my
don't call
God.
me DG no more. Don't call me that no
So
more. I
he
said, you
he
said
ended
it.
up saying on the post that anybody that came for him from now on, they would be dealt with sternly. And
Sternly.
she ended
Girl,
up
whatever.
apologizing, saying, I was just joking. But the other lady didn't even say anything wrong. She just asked a question. So he said, every woman should stay in her lane and never answer for a man.
Nobody was
That
trying
was
to
that was
answer
Consequently,
the
for
every
his
gist of
man
it.
should
ass.
stay in his lane and never answer for a woman. The rule has to,
Pretty much, because men
if
are
you're
quick
gonna
to
put the
tell
rule
women how
out,
men are
the
quick to
rule
tell
has
women
to
how
ride
we
both
should
ways.
behave and conduct our damn selves all the time.
Oh, and he's
So
the
Let
number
I
alone
one.
just I
how
just
a
read
man
the post
should
and
conduct himself,
I just
and
did it.
now we getting out of pocket and we need to stay in our lane. How about y'all not criticize us if we won't have shit to say? If I'm not your cup of tea, swallow that shit.
Damn.
Just that simple.
Damn.
No,
Eat it all.
in other words,
Wow.
if you don't have
Wow.
nothing nice to say, keep the shit to yourself. But you know what I
My
mean?
thing is
If you
if
if
you
you
don't
can't
want to
talk to me
date if
sweetly,
you don't
don't
want
talk
to
to me
date
at
a single
all.
mom, don't date a single mom. But don't be out there telling the whole world that we ain't about shit, because we don't say that
That's true.
about
Because it's like
men
that.
who
So
make
everybody,
30,000 a year. Don't
They ride
nobody
bikes.
date them because they ain't about shit. And that's where I seem to bump heads with him, is that he just keeps wanting to encompass all of us under the same umbrella. And we are not all the same, just like all black men are not the same. I can only speak about the bad relationships that I've been in with the black men I have dated. But I can't throw every single black man in that umbrella. And I think I got into it with Dave online because he was like, that's not what you said online. And I was like, you've never heard me say anything that encompassed every single black man. I usually refer to people as people, and they default to male or
No,
female, black or white.
that was the question. Actually, Brolic T had brought up, and you had mentioned something. You said y'all difficult to deal with, and I
I
had
ain't never said that shit.
and I had posted a question. I had posted that, like, why are black men so difficult to deal with? And then people gave their responses. And then me and you, Rebecca, had went back and forth about that. And I said you co-signed it.
I said
So
people are difficult.
yeah.
I know David tried to say that I co-signed it. I totally ignored that. I was like, whatever.
No, you had originally. You said it. You said
He
the
said
original
you said it.
statement.
I co-signed it.
You said y'all difficult to deal with,
I
black
ain't never
men.
said that.
No, I know
I ain't
you
never
didn't
dealt
say
with
it.
all of y'all.
I have said men are difficult to deal with. I don't deny that. And there are various reasons why men are difficult to deal with. Men will say that they
And even
want a
though,
woman. No, listen, because men are quick to say they want a woman that's a partner and do all these things, but they forget to mention is that they want a silent partner. They want a woman who's gonna let them do what the fuck they want to do, and is not gonna ask no questions, ain't gonna give them no shit about it. Just let them be, and then just when they want fuck, lay down, let them get what they want, cook them dinner, clean house, and what is she getting out of the deal? What's she getting out of the deal?
right.
Because it doesn't seem like her opinion is valued in any way, because they want a woman that ain't got a fucking opinion.
True.
Like, I read the comments the other day underneath the same post about, the woman who asked, what can a man do for me? And all I
And that
kept
was that
seeing
same. That was that
men talk
same
about
fine
they
woman.
want a submissive woman. And I'm like, y'all don't even know what fucking submissive really looks like in a relationship because it's built on trust. And I'm sorry, gentlemen, men, black men, white men, all of you. Submission is all about trust. And if a woman don't trust you and you don't prove that you're trustworthy, she's never gonna submit to you. You're gonna always fall fucking short. Y'all need to fix that shit. Don't
Okay.
ask for something that
Soon as a
you
dude
can't get.
asks me, soon as a dude says something like, "Well, women won't let us lead," I already know that that particular dude's not a leader because
Right.
most
Exactly.
leaders don't ask anybody. Most leaders don't have to
You just
ask you to
do. You
follow
just
them.
do it.
They
You
just
just
do
do
what
it.
they do, and that's for a man or a woman. So if a woman says that shit, I know that she's a weak ass chick in that moment. Now she can get better, but that's just it. I'm not gonna trash men and not trash the women that do that kind of shit
Exactly.
too.
That
And
shit
that's
goes
where
on
the
both
divide
sides.
comes in at. So no, that's just like a person that says, they don't trust in it. Now we're dark, but I'm still here. Don't worry about it. But that's just like, when I hear a woman or a man saying that they don't trust anybody, to me, they're really the person who can't be trusted because they're the ones that's not being genuine, that's holding back parts of themselves because they don't trust anybody else. So no,
Yep.
that's why I said it's about trusting yourself and trusting your
Yep.
judgment and trusting your discernment. Because if I'm
Here she
trusting
is.
myself, you can say whatever you
Look at
want to
Rebecca
me.
Falter. You see
You
it?
can say
Here
whatever you
she
want to
is.
me, but my
That's the
discernment will
woman
tell
he
me
would
if
leave
I can
alone. He
trust or
said,
what.
"I leave
Well,
her
I
alone."
mean, like, come on, like we already explained it. Cats.
Listen, we about
Like,
we about we
Well,
about to
I'm
close
gonna
this
say
out.
this, y'all. I'm on Dave. If you allow me to say something,
Go ahead.
my son just sent me a message and told me this young man I've known virtually his entire life, less than 30 years old, passed away
oh my
just
God,
Hear
I'm so
that?
moments
sorry
ago.
Wow.
about
Sorry.
that.
Oh, I'm
So
Wow,
we're
sorry about
sitting here.
that.
Yeah, I know
wow.
what man. It's even worse because his mother is now all alone. All of her
Hmm.
siblings have died. Both of her parents have died. But the
Wow.
point that I was making was we sit on this panel sometime and we get all this trivial stuff and it's real life stuff
Yep.
happening. That
Yep.
literally hurt my heart to hear
I
that.
know it
So
did,
we sit
baby.
here and we bicker and we cry about certain things in life and somebody don't have it anymore. This
Yep.
is why this panel is important. This is why we have to be truthful and honest and have a real conversation because
Yep.
nobody is promised tomorrow. Nobody is promised the next hour. What are you gonna say to somebody when they ask you, well, you crying over him, but how did you feel when you broke his heart or you broke his spirit or you didn't lift him up when he needed help? So I'm saying real life issues. And to top this off, his father passed away maybe 5 years ago. So
Wow.
it's just all ugly all around. So this is real life issues happening right now today. As we're taking part in these things and as we're debating somebody's foolishness and the things that they say and the picture that they want to portray, it's real life stuff happening. So love the people who are in your life. Love the people who God gave to you. Love the
Yep.
people that's around you. I never get off
Give them
my
their
phone
flowers
without
while
telling
they are
the
here.
people that I love them. You don't know when the last time is the last time. So,
Hmm.
and mind you, this boy didn't make 30. He wasn't 30 years old. He's 30,
Yeah, too young.
you know,
Too young.
entirely too young.
I'm so sorry
Entirely
you
too
going
young.
through that, baby girl. My heart is hurting for you because I see you hurting. I see it.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah, that's why
sorry
I
that
kind
that
of
you're going
checked
through
out
that.
for a minute.
So sorry that you're
I
going
wanted
through
to
that, baby
explain to
girl.
thank
Oh
you,
my
Shirley.
gosh.
I wanted to explain to y'all why I checked out because that was a little bit much. I wasn't expecting to hear that. R.I.P. R.I.P. May the Lord bless his mother, cause man, it's
For
finna
Yeah.
be
sure.
it's rough for her. So that's all I wanted to say is that real life is really, really happening. So
Thank you.
you know, let's use this for real. Let's use this for real because this video may be the only thing that people have to look back on and know who you are or to know who you were, to know that you left a mark in this world. So let's use this for real. That's all.
For sure.
Love you, boo.
Appreciate that.
So sorry.
Love you too.
Say you going to
With
die.
that said,
I love y'all.
it's nothing better than close out on that. And like I said, it's real conversations, real things is happening, and we don't know. And we don't know. And that's one of my biggest things is like a lot of times we think we take this stuff for granted and we don't know. Any of us, with everything that's going on, we don't know what's gonna happen. Nothing is guaranteed tomorrow. Nothing is guaranteed. So we have to have these conversations. And I know we joke around, we laugh, and I mean, and that's good too. Whatever. And sometimes some things you have to laugh about to make you move, go further. And sometimes, as they say, what makes sometimes you laugh can bring
To
you
keep from
pain,
crying.
can keep from crying, and all that stuff. So sometimes we have to be able to do that, but yet and still we have to see what's in front of us and know the different tasks that's ahead of us. So that's why I keep pushing my agenda. We still gotta talk about this stuff, and all it takes is one person. And like when I introduced, well, I barely could read it last week, but when the guy said, "Keep going, big bro," well, keep going because I need it. There's people who need these conversations. They need it. And I have people who have reached out to me and tell me, like, oh, I like listening to it. I like the different people that come on. So that's why I encourage people to stay with it. We're going to get mad. We're going to get upset. But yet and still, there's people that's counting on these platforms and people talking and us sharing our personal experiences and things we went through. So it's positive. Some people don't see the vision, but it's positive. So I'm done
That's a
after that.
Very beautifully spoken. Absolutely. These conversations are important. And it's just important that when we are here that we're all bringing sincerity, to it. I don't ever come on with the intentions that I'm a him a mofo up, but hey, that shit just happens. People him themselves with their own words, and I just catch it,
Eh,
and so do everybody else. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I'm not ever really here to convince. I'm just here to convey. I know what I know. I don't know everything about everything, but I know everything about every fucking thing I know about, and so that's what I talk on. And so,
Yep.
a person can take it or leave it. Sometimes the things that I say may cause your jaw to get tight. I'm talking straight to you whenever it does. Because I done said everything that I'm saying to everybody else to myself. I've been a whole bunch of different types of woman. I've been a whole bunch of versions of myself in order to get to the version that is peaceful for me to look in that mirror
Yep.
and sleep peacefully. So I can't front on anything. I know all the things that women can do that are treacherous, that are heavenly, that are all that because I'm one. And I don't mind speaking on it. I'm speak on guys too. I'm going ahead and let
Mm-hmm.
y'all know because sometimes when guys are speaking, they're speaking as though they don't do anything wrong. And so, I'm going ahead and disabuse you of that notion just like I disabuse chicks about when they're wrong as hell. Like I disabuse myself when I'm wrong as hell. That's why my closing statement is check yourself more than you check anybody else. I am constantly checking my responses to things because everybody has the right to speak their truth, whether I like it or not, because the truth don't give a fuck about nobody's feelings, yours, mine, or theirs. All I could do is be pretty when I tell it to you. So yeah.
and there's always going to be a statement to say, sometimes you got to say, hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some boom in it. Let me check myself
Yeah.
before I
Mm-hmm.
respond or
Yep.
before I say anything. Because when you check and you look at yourself, you self evaluate, like, I can't even go there because I know I'm not ready to go there or I'm not living the response to even come back or have that feedback. So, like I said, it's all meaningful. Whatever. I ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got 40 kids to get to, but it's counting down. Remember, I said it was what was it, 4 kids? Then it went
Listen,
up
I'm
to
here with
six
three
It
kids.
was
grandbabies and
40,
all
then
of
it
them is
was
sick.
40, and then it was 60.
Yeah, now it's about to be Tuesday. It's about to be a couple hundred. So,
Wow. They
things is
moving
about to
you
be in
right on
full
up.
swing. Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's all good. That's what I want. Whatever things to try to get back to normal and me to have some normalcy with kids coming in and we having conversations because they need it. They need life lessons. They need it. They not for this virtual stuff. So
Really not.
kids been severely impacted by this whole thing, and they need to have other influences other than their parents, because sometimes their parents may not be the best influences. So they need to have other people interacting with them in their lives. So I relish that opportunity, and I can't wait. I mean, I make fun of it or say things on here, but I really look forward to getting back to that. But
Yeah,
anyways,
we got
people,
these 3 grandbabies here, and all of them are sick. Please understand that Mofo is completely overstimulated right now. Y'all know I live
yeah,
alone, right? Now I'm
yeah,
30 days with 3 grandbabies. That's all
yeah,
sick. That
they
want to
got you
cuddle up with
working.
Nana. Oh my fucking God.
They working. I hope you got a
But
bottle of
it's no,
wine and something rolled
I
up
do.
for you.
You know it in the car. That's my alone time. I gotta go to the car and roll it up. But with all of that said, it's no place that I would rather be than right here helping my family. That's the village that I created. And so for me, when it comes to kids, that's exactly what needs to happen. There always needs to be a village somewhere. And Dave, I really appreciate the fact that you are that village for a lot of kids. And I know that they've missed that interaction with you too, because just being here with mine and seeing, the differences in what we have to go through, to just make sure that these kids stay on track and get some type of positive feedback from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate anybody that is, taking their time out, to mentor children, because children really do need to be a lot more protected than they are. So I
I
appreciate
appreciate
you,
it.
brother.
And I appreciate you all. Like I said, y'all bring something unique and dynamic to the forefront, and we all learn from each other. I swear I learn, and I enjoy it. This is passion for me. This make me keep going and keep putting information out there, even though people might say, "What the hell is he talking about?" But I don't care. Y'all know what I mean. People know me. Say, I know what he's trying to dig into. I know where he's going with this. So, hey, let's just keep it going, and everybody have enjoy the rest of the week. Have a safe holiday and be safe. Be good. None of y'all better not come on with y'all little Skittle outfits like I got on mine. I ain't gonna even have nothing on no Easter.
Ain't
But
nobody gonna wear that shit. You ain't got nothing to worry about. That's unique to you.
she's still
You
cracking.
know, you
But
don't have to
I
worry
can
about
look
it.
at I can look at Brolic T. Look like she gonna have on some old fuchsia color Easter outfit on Sunday.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell
Lakia,
no.
Lakia.
I bought a white and gold dress
Around with Skittle
too.
colors
Okay.
on.
Uh,
I
Walk
got a
around
nice
looking like a
white
damn
and
bag
gold
of Skittles
dress.
is
hey,
good. I'm mad.
I can look at Rubik's Cube over there. I can see what she gonna have. Oh,
I'm not gonna have on anything. So there you go with that
Right.
one.
I was about
But
to
what
say
I
I'm gonna be
won't be
naked
doing.
because I mean, I talk to
uh,
listen, me and JC got some stuff to talk about, and I'm gonna have a blunt roll and a bottle of wine because I think he got some stuff on his chest that he need to get off. Like, because if I were looking at the world and I was the one that was up on the cross, I'd be looking at Pop like, for them, like for them. So yeah, I'm gonna be sitting waiting with a blunt roll and my robe on and some wine so that he can just tell me his problems for a minute. We always telling them our problems. I'm gonna go ahead and be a shoulder this Sunday because I'm sure he got some
uh,
stuff to say.
all right, ladies, y'all be
Yeah.
good. Y'all enjoy yourself. Eat well and be safe. And see y'all Monday
Bye,
night.
ladies.
Good
Have
night,
a
I
good
pre-
one.
everybody.
Good night.
I
Bye.
appreciate y'all all. I'm
Bye.
out.
Night, ladies.
Good night.